will hold an open qualifier to any North American player of age at no entry fee to fill those 2 additional spots. So if you didn't get in those first 2 ways, there'll be a playoff on the Sunday, August 5th. And the 2 finalists that day will also get the invitation to go play in England, all right? So real good, exciting stuff. It's a wonderful experience.
Warmed up? Yeah, pretty much. We're going to do warm up. We're going to cork it and 9 darts after the cork, and then we'll start. And they'll let me know when they're ready for the cork.
We're going to cork it?
Cork it and then 9 darts. We're just corking up here instead of off the floor.
All this happen, Jeff? And he's gone. Oh, they talk so much. This is good. When we cork, it's time to play, right?
Cork and then 9, and you're on.
No, I know what they said, but I'm just saying, no, when we cork, we're going to play. We're not going to have 9 darts warm up after we cork.
I've talked to David about it. It's just normally you cork off and you would have 9
No,
darts.
normally, when you after you cork, you go shake hands and you start.
But like PDC, when they play stage, you cork off stage, and then when you come up, you get your 9 darts. That's what we're trying to simulate. We just can't cork it out there. That's what they're trying to simulate.
That's a TV match. That's
I
not,
know,
not,
but
not a floor match.
That's what they're trying to simulate.
But we're not in a TV match. We're in a floor match.
We're trying to simulate the TV match. Is what they're trying to do.
Okay, well, they got to stop doing and then run a floor match. That's the whole point. We're just stop jumping ahead of what we're doing here.
Well, we aren't streaming it. We're televising.
As they do
My
a
mommy's
floor
watching
match.
us right now.
And if that's the case, let us bowl outside there, and I can have as many warm-ups as I want. When you want me to come up here, I'll play. Don't tell me I've got to bowl it and have it at 9 darts. It doesn't make any sense. You can, yeah, do whatever you want. You got lots of time.
And the bedtime, we had plenty of it.
Fresh cups out here.
From New York City, Brooklyn to be most specific, the Magic Darts Championship Dart Circuit Road to the Continental Cup continues. It is day 2, CDC Event number 8. The Dart Connect Digital Steel Experience continues. I'm Colin Cosell. We've got a big match coming up next. It is a top 32 matchup between Gary Mawson and Tony McTeague, but I am not going to be in the booth for this one. I'm going to hand it over to the great Anthony Eugenia, and my dear friend Paul Burns is going to be joining Anthony as well. So, gentlemen, I hand the microphones over to you. Have a great match and enjoy these wonderful darts.
Thank you, Colin. Yes, folks, yeah, we're going to have a nice match here. Gary
Mawson, the mauler, a known quantity to the folks. PDC UK Open runner-up in 07, I believe. And then we've got a local lad, a local in terms of where he is now, Tony McTeague, a Bronx lad now, but where is he originally from?
Well, he's originally from Mayo.
Mayo.
A very, you know what, a very underprivileged county in Ireland. And it's an awful lot, it's a big step for the young fella from Mayo to come in here and play Gary Mawson, who we are recruiting for a potential 2020 Ryder Cup team for the New York Irish.
We'll get to, well, welcome first off, welcome Paul Burns, folks. I'll give you a little idea of who Paul is. Paul's been one of the best players in New York City for the better part of 20 years, I'd say. Also an owner of the famed Irish Rover pub in Queens, New York. Basically just a player, a person that is not only great in darts, but a big darts enthusiast. Paul has always supported everything that's gone on in darts in New York. And what I've always liked about Paul is a big proponent of the development of players. Paul is always willing to get involved and help, you know, foster the game at all levels. He wants everybody to fall in love with the game that we love. So we welcome Paul here, and we've got a couple of things here in New York that we'll get to. We'll talk with New York Ryder Cup is his baby, and we'll talk that in a little bit. Look at Tony McTeague open up with a 140.
Tony McTeague with a 140, baby. That's what I want to see. Come on, Tony. Tony, a mass underdog in this game. 95 by Gary Mawson there, as steady as it comes. You know?
Yeah, exactly. We know what we're going to get from Mawson, and you know he's in contention for this PDC spot. Right?
Tony,
Look at that, Tony
finds a treble 20 with the last dart. 78, I think. Good shot.
Yeah, Tony's holding his own here.
Yeah.
It's early doors, as they say. You know, but it's you always want to take a temperature of a player who hasn't been up there on a feature board before. You know, how do they react to the, you know, a little bit of lights and a little bit of structure up there, and he's looking pretty good.
Yeah, but he's really up against it. Mawson is a class act when it comes to that.
Ton 25.
But
well,
Tony on 125, he's still hanging in and keeping him thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean Gary has pretty much been anywhere and everywhere. Yep, going down cover.
Oh, nice,
right?
137 there. Great darts.
Puts tons of pressure on Tony.
Yeah. It's all right.
Responded real well, I have to
84,
say. Right?
Right there.
Good
Keep
solid
a little
turn.
bit of pressure.
Look at that. After 15.
Yeah, awesome.
Double 16 to take the opening leg for Gary Mawson.
He gets it, yeah.
He converts, and Gary Mawson up 1 leg to nothing. This is a top 32 match. Best of 9 legs, which is first to 5, advances into the top 16.
Nice 60 by Tony. Nice darts right over the treble 20. It's good grouping.
Now, Gary Mawson is joining us just for today in this weekend here in Brooklyn. He was a victim of some weather problems that unfortunately also kept a few other players out, most notably John Part. His flight got canceled. So Gary coming up from sunny Florida couldn't make it in until last night, but Gary's so determined to make a real run at that PDC spot that he made sure he got on a flight last night and is competing today. So, you know, Gary Mawson's always going to bring it, always going to just have the most professional attitude you're ever going to see.
Yeah, he's a real dart thrower. Quality.
Nice darts by both players. Pretty good groupings, pretty solid turns.
But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, you see Mawson, he's just borderline. He's right there. He's focused. He's a good dart thrower. His darts are perfectly thrown every time.
Consistent.
I mean, consistent.
That's what we talk about when we do these commentary. You know, you watch players, and the players that traditionally perform real well in these competitions. It's about the consistency, you know. Like you'll watch Gary, and Gary will give you now 6, 7, 8 legs of consistency where his opponent will start to struggle after a few, and that's in that 4th, 5th, and 6th leg is where a player like Gary will put the distance between himself and his opponent, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You're right, 100%.
So quite honestly, I'll be honest with the folks. I sometimes take offense when players around me in my years of darts, and when I try to expose them to, you know, big time darts and everything, and they sort of sniff at you and they say, well, I can hit a triple 22. All right, Gary was, yeah, we've got that first dart was a
Double
41.
15,
So
double,
exactly,
double
yeah,
15.
he was off on that. So double
30.
15 for Gary Mawson for the second leg.
A bit of a miscount from Gary, I think.
Yeah.
Come on,
And I
Tony.
think he was something on his fingertips. He wasn't happy with his grip.
I haven't been happy with my grip for the last 15 years, so I can understand where you're coming from.
Flaming the grip for a better part of a decade. Ah, okay, so he's a chalk man. You can see the chalk coming off those barrels. Now he's thinking exactly right. He went to a different part of the board.
So he left himself 16.
Yep. Looked at his opponent's score and realized.
If Tony could
let
hit
me
a big one here. There you go, Tony. Come on, fill her up. Come on, fill her up right now. There you go, almost 81.
Double 8 for Gary Mawson.
Yeah, solid dart. Right
first dart,
yeah.
solid and professional. 2 legs to nothing, Gary Mawson. So I'll finish my thought real quick. In my travels over the years, when you want to expose these big time players to people, and they sniff at you and they say, "I can hit a triple 22." You know, I also, you know, I can also put it in the triple 20. Well, you can't for an hour and a half. You can't be consistent like these players, and that's the stuff that you need to appreciate. We can all put in a ton and a ton 40 and a ton 80, but I can't do it for an hour and 15 minutes like the players that we watch on the big stage do it, you know, and that's where that's what their forte is.
The amount of consistency is, it's just unbelievable how these guys can just go up, but that's their life, and that's how they support their family. That's how they support their everything that goes on with them. They support it through darts, and it's a different perspective. You know, these professionals and all.
When you have a different,
up,
yeah,
you know,
when there's different stakes, it sort of keeps you, it changes your focus on things. Beautiful cover shooting by Gary Mawson, 124.
Oh, 24. You're right. Sorry.
So it's exactly good darts by Tony. I was going to say he needs his own sort of 140 to keep pace, right?
That first dart was a perfect dart there.
Yeah.
If he had got lucky there with the last one and filled it up with 140, would have definitely made a game of this. You know, like Mawson he's throwing, but he's not throwing the caliber that he can throw. So
yeah, he's at an 81 average, and we know that there's another, you know, 10 to 15 points in that arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we certainly know that there's another, you know, Gary's got another gear, you know. He's got more tools in that toolbox, as they say. I like to steal as many good phrases from Sky Sports as I can, you know. Those are the top boys. So in his locker, right? That's what it is. He's got it in his locker. And look at that, exactly. You know, at any time, Gary's going to rip off 2 triples like that. So let's see, 112. Is Gary going to, what's the, we've got either 20s,
he's going to go 20s,
or,
isn't it? Yeah,
yep.
Single 20, double 16. Oh, no. I'm surprised with that. Yeah,
staying up.
He should have went for the double 16. That's it.
We talk about that here all the time. It's only a good plan if you execute. Once you don't succeed, then you're open to criticism.
There you go, Tony. That's nice. 140 there.
Fantastic by Tony.
Puts a little bit of pressure on Gary. Well, it didn't work out. But next.
But I mean, you know, that's what Gary's bright. He's been real crisp on those doubles. So here we go. We've got 3 legs to nil. Gary Mawson in a top 32, best of 9. So as we enter leg 4, we got a little bit of time before the match runs out. Paul, I want to talk to you.
That's a 180 for Tony McTay. God, Mayo.
Oh boy, I can't tell you how much that tickles me. Good job, Paul, and good job, Tony. So let's quickly see if we can tell the folks. I'll sort of intro it real quick. Paul has had this amazing idea that took place in New York now roughly, 6 years ago?
Yes,
to
6
put
years.
together an event similar to the Ryder Cup in darts, of golf, the traditional Ryder Cup, but name it the New York City Ryder Cup of darts. And we're fortunate in New York that we can actually pull off this event where it truly is a team of, an American-born team and truly a team of boys that were born and raised in Europe. A lot of other cities you wouldn't be able to pull that off, but we truly have a competition, and it's been really wonderful. So, just give us 30 seconds and on what the Ryder Cup has been and what it means to you.
Well, to be honest, I thought about the Ryder Cup as a way of where all levels of players from -50 to +71 would be able to compete on an equal level and do something just as a spontaneous team event. I'm a big believer in a team event.
Yes.
And it means that the lowest player in our league can win the same amounts as the best player in the league. It's
exactly,
it's a good,
and that's folks. What I was trying to say is that's what Paul's always looked at. Yeah, these Ryder Cup teams are not just comprised of Paul Burns, Jim Widmeyer, Matt Malone, etc. There's 3 of those level players, and then there's 3 players from the mid 60s averages, and then the 3 or 4 players from the below 50. Everybody's represented. Everybody has pride and camaraderie on being on that team.
Yeah, and this year we're taking it to a different level because unfortunately, within the last year, one of our people to run it died. Brian Walsh, and Brian was a great bartender and a good friend and a great guy.
Let's see if Tony can.
But Tony
we're going to talk about Brian.
We'll go right back to this. Come on,
Tony can put a mark on the board here.
Come on.
54, fixed that a little bit. Tops for
Double
Tony
top,
McTee.
Tony. Yay! There you go. Ah, you good thing.
Tony the Tiger takes one by the tail and picks one up off of Gary Mawson, and look at him. Yep, he knows.
He's fired up now. Come on, Leo.
So that brings it to 3-1 Gary Mawson, and we've got a little bit of sizzle in this match now. Tony's brought his average up to 70. Gary's dropped a bit. We've talked about what we think Gary should be playing. So Gary's legitimately, goodness, 15 to 20 points off of what we think. I'd say 15, to be honest, So Tony's brought his average up there. If Tony picks this leg up, he needs. We've got a match here. So let's see, what sort of demeanor Gary can do, because Gary's the type that he knows when it's time to shut somebody off.
Tony recently done the marathon, New York City Marathon, raised a lot of money for charity.
Yeah, good on him.
It was, he's a good guy. He's a solid guy. He supports the darts, and he deserves. And he's a good man.
And he's on the European side for the upcoming
he's
Ryder
on the
Cup
European
of darts.
side. Yes,
up Europe.
Definitely. I don't want his average to get too high now. Maybe you could drop it down maybe a point or two. Make sure you're under the 71. But that's a different story.
So finish this up just for the folks that are listening to everything. So what have we done with the Ryder Cup in terms of Brian Walsh this year?
Yes, we're going to try and turn it into like a charity event and a fundraiser where each player will have to pay $25 to be on each team. 20 players in each team, $25, $500. Double that up 2 weeks was $2,000. Plus we're going to have some other spot prizes. So hopefully we'll be able to get maybe about $2,500 towards a charity in Brian's name, and we can take that. Hopefully next year.
That's pretty awesome.
That's
pretty awesome.
Yeah. It's It's. Brian was a very young guy. It was
Gary Mawson just inside the double 12. Oh, 2 threes. Is he? Yeah, we're going to pull back to reconsider now. Do we hit a 2 to leave double 2 when he comes back? No, we straight up busted it. Very interesting. He's got a feel. He's got.
So I mean, that's a wonderful turn that's taken to keep that, you know, Brian's memory alive. Put, you know, associate the Ryder Cup now with him. Do a little charitable effort, and yeah, I mean, there we go, Gary Mawson.
Yeah.
As we said, it's success. The plan is good if you can make it happen, and Gary puts in that double 12. So yeah, it's. We just wanted to get a little exposure for the New York City Ryder Cup. This is the 4th cup, I believe. The 4th.
This is
competition?
the 4th one.
The 4th one.
This is the 4th one, and unfortunately for us, America has won the first 3. We're not too happy about it, but not much we can do. But we got a new crew in now. We got a new crew, and we got a new leader. We bring in Anthony Eugenia as our new captain.
Yeah, despite this Yankee accent, I'm jumping on to Team Europe, and I'm gonna help them. I believe they've got a lot of skill and a lot of talent, and just gonna help them organize things and see what we can do. It's all for the, like the boys say around here, it's all for the crack.
Yeah.
Which just means fun in Irish, just to have a good time with some good people and have a nice time. And that's what the Ryder Cup truly has been. It's been a great time for New York, and we thank Paul Burns and Tom Lally for bringing this creation to us. It's really been fantastic.
So I'd like to emphasize that Tom has backed me in anything I wanted to do with it, and Brian used to work in the gaff, and I mean, he's a great guy, and he was a great guy, and Tom's a great guy, and we just want to do something special.
Good stuff.
That's
so
it.
yeah, so we wish everybody, you know, good luck in September and October when the 2018 New York City Ryder Cup of Darts takes place. So we'll check the interwebs and Facebook for info on that. Just follow my page and you'll get all of that. So let's see. Gary Mawson's put himself in a nice position to put away this match. And Tony was looking to kind of put a little pressure there on him and just couldn't do it. And so now, you know, Gary knows he's got 6. He's going to not, you know, if he doesn't need to use them, but he can at least.
Oh, that's a slip.
All right, come back.
Come on, Tony. Hit at 140 here now. Put a bit of pressure
Shanghai.
on him right now. Come on, Tony. Let's go. Right now. Come on. All right, fill her up. 100.
Just a small chunk out of that. Not enough, but let's see a truly professional out. All right, he cuts it at half. I mean, Tony's now within earshot. He's got to, generally, you got to start on the bullseye there. And he does treble 19.
Baby. Come on, Tony. All right, come on, Tony. Come on, B.O. Come on.
Double
come on,
bullseye.
B.O. Oh, right there.
All right, Gary Mawson eschews that attempt aside. Comes up single 20 for double tops. Gary Mawson. Oh, that's going to hurt. Gary Mawson with a wayward dart opening the door for Tony McTeague. Double 14. And Tony lets you know by that expression that it was in his grasp, and it just eluded him. All right. So Gary's going to fix that with a 7 or a 19.
Yeah.
Double 16, Gary Mawson to make things right, and he does. Gary Mawson advances into the top 16 with a 5-1 win over Tony McTeague. Ladies and gentlemen, we saw a pretty good match there. Gary Mawson 75, Tony at 67. You know, not Gary came out pretty big there and started to falter a little bit, but again, it's a match that you're gonna expect from Gary Mawson, doing the business, advancing, and he knows, you know. And you could tell Tony had a good time up there, right, Paul?
Yeah, he had a great time, and I'm glad he took one game off him. But Mawson has a lot more in the tank, and he's ready to go. I got a feeling he's going to be hard to beat today.
It'd be good.
I wouldn't
be shocked if we see him in a final today.
Yeah, he's even you can see his darts are right there, and once he gets pressurized, he's going to be a lot better.
Well, Paul, it was a good match for you to cover with Tony.
Fun.
That was a little bit of fun. And I want to thank Paul Burns for joining me today, folks. Thank you very much for joining us for that match. We're going to have another match for you coming up promptly, and we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with you. Thanks, everybody. This is Anthony Eugenia.
Thank you.
fresh cut. You're gonna use yours. What's up, James? He was just right here. I told him he's got to be right back. I thought you were running the bathroom already. Hurry up. Nick, we're going to do it just like yesterday.
He is a quick fluid champion. He actually has a community dartboard. His father passed away.
So I refuse to do it the way we're doing yesterday. Walk out. Warm up. We're going to cork like we would do off the stage normally. Throw 9 darts after the cork, shake hands and go. We're trying to, instead of corking off on the floor backstage like they do in a TV match. So why do they have that 9 after the cork? Because like when you cork backstage, you come up on the screen, you go up, you throw your 9 darts and then you shake hands. That's what we're trying to do. So warm up all you got. I'm done. Are you guys ready? Hey, production, are you guys ready? All right. Yep. They're gonna. Are you ready for it, David? We're going one for cork, and then we'll do 9 and start. Nothing.
Nick, you're so much.
Just 1 second, David. Yeah, you started.
Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn, New York, New York City. The Magic Darts Championship Dart Circuit Road to the Continental Cup continues. Day 2, CDC Event number 8. I am Colin Cosell, joined once again by Anthony Eugenia. Anthony, you guys, you and Paul Burns just saw Gary Mawson have his way with Tony McTeague, 5-1. And now we've got, in the round of 16, 2 heavy hitters. One, the defending champion from yesterday's event. You see him right there, Mr. Nick Lindberg, representing Ohio. And, of course, a man who needs no introduction, David Fadum, formerly the pride and joy of Canada, now of Arizona. And 2 completely different personalities, but 2 extraordinarily talented dart throwers here. What do you expect to see out of this match?
Forget about it. This is going to be a barn burner.
This could have been a final. This
Absolutely.
could have been,
Yeah.
absolutely been a final. You guys did one hell of a draw today, I'll tell you that.
It's a beauty.
Yeah, no, you nailed it. That's, again, there's,
Well,
there's
you
no
get deep,
easy way.
Yeah, you get deep in this competition. You start getting those matchups that are earned based on either seated position or what they've done today to get to this later stage in the competition. We've just been waiting for David to have a uber bust out day, and we saw how Nick can play and picking up a trophy yesterday.
And the third time was the charm for Lindberg. It was his third time in the final, having lost to Leonard Gates, Soldier, and having lost to
Top 16. Best of
to Darren Young, I believe. Those are the
Larry Butler.
Larry Butler. That's it.
His friend Larry Butler.
Yeah.
On stage in Philadelphia. Nick came up a little short.
City of Brotherly Love. I was there for that one. It was a tough loss for him. I think I was scoring one.
You
of those
were.
As well.
You scored all day, I think.
Yeah.
You
Just getting my
were in
calling
your
in.
calling phase.
Yeah, no, it was a passing phase. It was just kind of a thing I did, but
We were not offering commentary at the time.
No,
So the best thing we could get
we
was a
evolved.
Colin.
as long as I can speak, that's all I do and do well. But one thing I do not do well is throw as well as these guys. Lindberg entering the tournament this weekend with 16 points on the season, or on the tour, and Fadum with 28. Obviously, those points have gone up for Mr. Lindberg, but we will see that after this tour stop heading into Philadelphia at the end of this month. And, of course, it all culminates with the Continental Cup in October. But Mr. Lindberg so far, off and running, picking up
look
where
at
he
that.
left off yesterday. He is just lights out. So I guess he got some good rest in there, huh?
Yes. Nothing feels good like success. Nothing lets you have a good night's sleep like being victorious.
Wake up next to that trophy. You could pull an Alexander Ovechkin and just put it on the pillow next to you. You don't need a wife when you got a beautiful trophy like that. Unless it's a trophy wife. But that's another story altogether.
Hey-o.
We'll leave that one alone. But so far, he's been throwing tremendous darts. Fadum is a little lackluster thus far, and he's looking
262 points ahead
and
is Nick Lindberg.
Yeah. It's he's got a little time on his hands. So that double 19, does he go for it? He does. He just goes right at it, nails it. Lindberg looking like he is in prime form right now.
No messing about.
116 average on that first leg. I repeat, 116.
Good stuff by Nicky Lindberg.
Just tremendous. You wouldn't think that's a man that won a championship yesterday. It looks like a man who just is hungry for his first one. He's just got that look about him.
Sure. Well, it's a competitor's going to keep that. One's not. Why one? Make it two.
Yeah.
Why
absolutely.
two? Make it three.
Hey, taste that success. You want to get it all the time. And he now knows exactly, well, he knew going into it how hard it is to win one of these coveted trophies. But now he's got it. I'm sure the thirst is even stronger now. And Fadum, of course, coming off Vegas, he said he didn't get much practice in between Vegas and here. Need a little break, which, he throws a lot of darts. But he said, one thing I can count on for myself is doubles. So he's just got to get himself down there because Nick
It's always a
Lindberg's
good
been
thing to
hitting
be
big darts.
confident on.
Yeah. I mean, that's huge, huge part of this game. hit all the ton 80s you like, but if you can't double out, what's it for? And Jen Mounts and I were talking about this yesterday. How, when you're in the lower ranks, when you're up and coming in darts, it's like the curse of the ton 80. You hit one, you're almost assuredly going to lose that leg or that match because your adrenaline's going and you feel like you're unstoppable. Unless you're Nick Lindbergh.
In league, league, it's always, he hit a 180, he's going to lose.
Yep, absolutely. And I told her the first time I hit a ton 80, I ended up winning that match. Ever since then, every time I've hit a ton 80.
Tops for Fathom.
And he got it. See? And there's the doubles that Fathom was talking about. He had a big round that led into it. And he notches this at 1, so both men holding serve thus far. But yeah, the curse of the ton 80, I know it well. Lindbergh.
We all do.
I know. Lindbergh opens up with a max. 180 for Nick Lindbergh, the defending champion.
His second of the match. And that speaks to a growth process, right? Once you get past that point of being so unnerved in a happy way about a ton 80, like you take it as the norm and move on. You tend to less and less lose those matches, those legs and those matches.
Well, and I remember the first time I saw Darren Young in an exhibition. It was at McHale's. Shout out to Paul Downey and the fine staff. Wonderful bar, great for darts, great food and all that. But Darren was in town with Larry Butler doing an exhibition. And
the
Darren,
U.S. Stars of Darts.
That's correct. And I was still green in this whole industry. But Erin Quinn gave him her darts, and he just went up there with her darts and plopped a ton 80 and walked away like nothing happened. I'm like, God, I wish I could do that. Anyway, back to the match at hand. Nick Lindbergh absolutely on fire. Opened up with a ton 80, then ton 40, and then a 60. He's cooled off a little bit there, but he will have a shot at an out with that 85. And of course, for the less talented dart shooters like me, I go trip 15 double top because that's all I know.
That's the correct route. Bullseye.
Oh, just outside. Of course, it wasn't right on the wire, so that feels like miles away, especially for people of this talent level.
And will Nickel get another chance at this as Fathom was unable to set himself up with an out the previous turn.
Fathom just had a birthday, by the way.
Yes. I believe it was the big 5-0.
Oh, we don't talk about it.
No, we don't talk ages? Okay.
No, I'm sure he doesn't care. Just outside Nick Lindbergh, very disappointed there. Fathom with an opportunity to take this out the same fashion he did last round. And he's not going to do it. So Fathom leaves himself with a 32. Lindbergh, 3 at the double 8. First one wired, needs to go across for the double 4. Walk it in. Oh no, the doubles are suddenly escaping Nick Lindbergh, your event number 7 champion. Fathom with a chance to take a lead here. Single 16, right upstairs.
And he may be a little blocked on that double 8.
It's a tough one. But not when you're Dave Fathom and you go up there and you just knock it like there's nothing in your way at all. And suddenly, Lindbergh, who came out just like gangbusters there in that second leg, ends up dropping that. And Fathom breaks his serve and now gets to lead off this 4th leg.
Huge break of throw.
Fathom stopped, was not pleased with that first start, reset.
Unsuccessful on his attempt at 19s.
Comes away with a 43 to open up this 4th leg. Nick Lindbergh, who was pounding the trip 20 before, finally gets back in there with an even ton. That's amazing. It feels like feast or famine sometimes when you're up on that hockey.
Because it usually is. It really is.
It is.
It's such a, it's a rhythm game, and it's a mysterious game.
It is.
It comes and it goes, but when it's all happening, it all feels right. The triples look huge.
Yeah.
And it just, when it leaves your hand, it just feels right.
Yeah, there's no better feeling than when that dart just sails in the trip 20, especially for a ton 80, or you take a big out and you just know the second it leaves your hands that it's going in.
It's in.
On the contrary,
it's magical.
It is. On the contrary,
magical.
It's also very difficult when you've got when you dart leaves your hand and you know that it's going to sail terribly awry. So there's that aspect of it as well. Feast or famine. That's how this game goes.
It's a fickle friend.
Speaking of fickle friends, the winner of this match will go on to play Chuck Pulio in the round of 8. So Pulio having a great day again. A nice ton 40 there from Lindbergh.
Nick has fixed the ship a bit here.
Fathom, watch out. Oh, just outside. Tough break there. Leaves him 64.
Tough nuggies.
Tough nuggies. The trip 20 gets it double 8 to notch this at 2, and he does. Nick Lindbergh, huge darts. And he breaks right back.
That was a pretty turn.
That was.
Sweet stroke, great darts.
He's completely unfazed, still boasting a 92 average to Fathom's 80. Nick Lindbergh to lead off this 5th leg. Also waiting in the top 8, Matt Campbell, the Ginge. He just beat Chris White, and he beat Dan Lauby.
Goodness gracious, more scalps from Matt Campbell.
5-3 for the Ginge. So far, Jim Long is the top of the leaderboard with 91.8 points per round. 2-ton 80s, 9-ton 40s, and 22-ton plus. So,
Jim Long, the Rock.
And what was my prediction?
Solid as a rock.
What was my prediction?
You see Jim Long have a monstrous day today.
I said Jim Long and Chuck Pulio.
You did. Jim Long and Chuck Pulio.
I am not biased in any way, shape, or form. I just like to brag when I'm right, and I'm not going to say I hope I'm right, but I said it.
You may want to hide that betting slip over there. Put that away.
Nope, we're not doing that again.
Put that away.
We learned that the hard way yesterday. But if you were a betting man yesterday on Nick Lindbergh, then you came away with some dividends because he was
Hold all tickets. Hold all tickets.
It was unbelievable. He took down Robbie Mondry pretty handily too. It was just stellar. I said, third time's a charm. And he goes, I didn't even realize that. He's so humble and just goes about his business. The same facial expression at all times, just calm, cool, and collected. Fathom wears his heart on his sleeve. Going for the max.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Ah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, his facial
Eyes to the
expression said
sky,
it all.
like,
Yep.
please, come on.
He knew exactly what went wrong there. Lindbergh with an opportunity here. Second dart goes just awry.
But that'll be
score.
enough to, put him in
48.
put him in a good spot for his next turn.
We've got Tony McTeague making sure he's got the right score in there. And there it is. All right, so technical issues out of the way. Nick Lindbergh will have an opportunity to take out that 48. I'm just trying to bring himself down to a possible out.
Sometimes it takes a lot of effort to throw that third dart after that you're disgusted with the effort on a previous dart.
Because it's so easy to throw away. Wow, what happened there, Nick Lindbergh? That one got away from him, and a few times you'll see him a little disgusted with himself.
Big opportunity here for David Fathom.
Huge. Oh, comes away with
Unable to cash in at all.
60. Nick Lindbergh, 3 shots at that double 8. Now double 4. Marker gets it. Nick Lindbergh wins the next 2 legs. Holds serve there to take a 3-2 lead on Mr. Fathom, who will now lead off this 6th leg, down 3-2. Disappointing 60 for Mr. Fathom.
As he rips at the darts in disgust.
It's not their fault. Nick Lindbergh comes away with an 80.
Beautiful cover shot.
Yeah. Treble has suddenly escaped.
David's ready to take out a $20 bill. Can I buy a triple 20?
Yeah, there.
Anybody selling? Can I buy? Can I
Somebody
buy?
selling 20s. Any trebles? Lindbergh stays up there, bounces off his own dart, and lands in the 1. 81 there. Fathom doing Yourself a come on. Steady 60s are not going to do it, especially in this format and in this kind of competition. Maximum Lindbergh. Oh, off his own flight and into the treble 3. Or treble 1, 4-3. Gets a 123 there. There we go, Fathom. Finds another one. Plenty of room for the ton. 80. Just outside, gets the ton. 40, Nick Lindbergh. Trying to set himself up.
Put any pressure on David. David has a big look here, but it's doable.
Not the prettiest, but who cares? An out's an out, and he's not going to be able to pull this one out. It's nice to see that he's back right on top of that treble, though. Seemed like it was floating around for a little while. Will he get an opportunity? Well, that's in the hands of Nick Lindbergh. 117 out. Goes for the trip 20 first. Double top. Oh, just outside. Look of disappointment on Nick Lindbergh's face, justifiably so.
See if David will open up on the bullseye. Yes. 68. Now back to the bullseye.
Oh, just outside. Beautiful dart so out of Mr. Fathom. Nick Lindbergh. 3 darts. Take a 4-2 lead. Double 5. It's been elusive all weekend. Throws the bust. Fathom with a huge opportunity to notch this at 3.
The door is wide open.
There's the 1, double 12. Single 12, double 6. Gets it. Wow. Fathom takes advantage of Nick Lindbergh there and ties this up at 3.
We have a match.
Boy, do we. Nick Lindbergh sporting an 85 average here. Leg number 7 leads off. Tied at 3. So Fathom breaks the little winning streak there of Mr. Lindbergh, who opens up with a 60. Fathom. Dave Fathom just took in Times Square for the first time in his life.
Did he? That's
to celebrate
fantastic.
his birthday.
Those are some of the side effects that I really get a kick out of when we try and put on these events, that if people do really take advantage of being in a city that they've never been to, take an extra day and I've heard from some of the tour card holders the way we have things set up that they're not responsible to report till 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and they play at 2. Gives them the morning to go do something. To have a early, relaxed morning and sightsee, have a good meal, things like that, and those things really do make me happy, you know. So there you go. He's got to see our beautiful Times Square.
Well, I told him, once you get it out of the way, that's it. Don't ever go back. You should experience Times Square once and once only.
It's checked off.
Any New Yorker will tell you, walk 10 extra blocks and avoid that place like the plague.
Go down to Lex.
Yeah,
just get away from
just
it.
anything but Times Square. But that first time, it's pretty awe-inspiring. So happy birthday to Dave Fathom, and congratulations on finally making it Times Square and getting that out of your system. Back to darts now. We've got Mr. Fathom sitting at 301. Can't find the treble, having a little difficulty. Nick Lindbergh with an opportunity here to hold serve. He let off this 7th leg. That's not the way to do it, but he will have another opportunity.
He patched things up a tad bit, and he'll get another look. See, it's David. Yeah, needs a big chunk. There we go
again. Oh, and it escaped him again, trying to get that treble 19, and it falls into the fat 7.
Treble 16. Nope, he's going 20 root. Wow. 74 shot, double 7 left.
Not pretty, but it is if it works. It didn't work there. Fathom. Huge opportunity here. And
that's it. He's in no man's land.
Yeah, that opportunity's been squandered. He knows it too.
Why? Can I hit the triple 20 now?
Yeah. Why not the first one? What went wrong? Right.
Tops if Nick gives him the chance, and the way Nick's been playing, I think he's gonna.
That's
right. Yep.
brutal.
3 for double 2,
and he gets it. And the best part is, it fell right into the hole that had been there already. Like, he had his eye on it and hit it. There was that one black spot from the double two, and he hit it directly.
You want me to geek out on you?
Yeah.
Okay. You spot. It's called spot shooting.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. It's George Silsberhan has a thing called flight school, and part of it is spot shooting. Pick a part in the bed and aim directly at that spot. So you, my friend, were right on the money. He shot at the hole, put it in the hole. Get in your hole.
Get in your home. Are you too good for your home? Price is wrong.
But Nick's been good at that today. He's been good at solving problems. He's, a mixed dart, a bad dart. He'll fix it and he finishes it. I think that's the second or third leg that he's successfully done that.
Yeah, he doesn't get transfixed by any sort of transgressions. Let's put it that way. Some good verbiage there by me. I'll take that. I got it. That's it. That's all I got.
You have good words, big words, the best words.
Well, they pay me the big bucks to speak good. That's why I'm here. All right, so Nick Lindberg, the opportunity here to try to cut Fathom's lead down a bit, keeping in mind that he is one leg away from the top 8, where Matt Campbell and Jim Long, Chuck Pulio as well, they're all in waiting. Second dart falls into that treble. Third one gets away from him.
Yep, not enough to really make a big statement and put any pressure on Fathom. So
but talk about a big
David's
statement.
David's gonna have 6 at this. That's all he needed right there.
But the big statement would have been made if he had knocked out that 1056, and he actually was disappointed, even though he had set himself up.
But yeah, you've got to have some reasonable expectations. That there was no, I mean, I would say no need to finish it, but if it didn't happen, that ton was good enough. Tops.
Got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are notched at 4. This is going the distance. Kind of had a feeling it might, given the talent here. And, of course, as we saw yesterday, as we see with most of these CDC events, the scoring gets less lopsided and closer as we go along. So
comparable averages, both at just about 80. 4-4, shooting at an 80. Top 16, correct?
Yes, sir.
Top 16. These are the great top 16 matches you get at CDC main events.
It's unbelievable. It is truly a privilege to be able to even comment on these, let alone do the commentary. So it's so thanks, Anthony. Thanks for having me. This is awesome. I mean, look at this talent pool. Look at these darts. And here we are.
We want to keep growing and bigger and better and better, and Colin's a part of that.
Well, thanks. I love it.
Like, we really do, people. I mean, we've, our goals are, you can't imagine the lofty goals that we set for ourselves behind the scenes with the CDC. We want to bring you a product that's just better and better each and every time, with more great people like Colin, more experienced folks that can bring stuff to you, to the table to keep you interested and engaged in all fashions. We're continually trying to just build a great team.
Well, I want to see 2 things come out of this. I want to see a North American go off and win in Ali Pally in PDC in the coming years, and I want to be the voice of North American darts. I want to be right there along with them.
We're trying to make that happen, Colin.
Every step of the way, so I can say I saw him climb the ranks and go in there and hoist the Sid Waddell Trophy.
Okay, Nikki, just a little awry. 102 cannot be rectified, so David Fathom is going to come back and take a shot at 112 to win this match. And 112 is one of those outs that I say pros love. It's 2 straight cracks at a triple 20 to give yourself an out. 112, 116, 120.
Got it in the corner there, and he gets it. David Fathom gives us a look right in the camera. He pulls out the 112 out. Nick Lindberg will not repeat. I repeat, he will not repeat as champion this weekend. He comes away with the trophy yesterday, and today he has been dethroned by David Fathom. Went up there in the face of adversity, was down 4-3. Lindberg had his opportunities. Those opportunities were squandered. David Fathom, who said his outs have been strong, and case in point right there.
Yeah.
You said the pros level 112?
Love it.
That's a pro right there.
It's akin to taking good swings in a box. You really get to dig in and take 2 good cracks at that triple. You don't have to move, and boom. it's right in the sweet spot for top players.
And it worked out perfectly for David Fadum, who will move on. So we've got Fadum in the top 8. We know we've got Pulio, Campbell.
David's giving us. He was giving it a little bit to the camera or something.
Oh, again? Gosh, he loves that thing. He also does great interviews on his own. But we've got Matt Gingy Campbell, Chuck Pulio, Jim Long, and now David Fadum are in the round of 8. So when we come back, we will be moving on to the round of 8. Who do we have? You'll just have to stay tuned and find out. Colin Cosell, Anthony Eugenia, the Magic Darts Championship Dart Circuit Road to the Continental Cup continues. Round of 8 coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Hi boys, how we doing? Alright, we're going to do this just like we've done the last events. We're going to warm up. We'll call for the cork. Danny, we will apply the cork first. Cork, 9 darts.
Alright, how you doing? Ready to shoot some good darts, gentlemen? Just want to wish you all good luck. We're all counting on you. That's good. You have this shirt. Can't be serious. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not doing the commentary in this one. So. Oh man, you guys are out.
Lindbergh went to the restroom, then he'll be back out and we'll be ready.
But they fucking, I don't know what happened. All I said was, "Go on 80." I try to sound like those fucking people from England, and they bought me the score. I was scoring his game. He hit a 180. They got many people. Right, Campbell? What happened?
Back in Brooklyn, New York City. The Magic Darts Championship Dart Circuit Road to the Continental Cup continues. We are into the round of 8 here in CDC Event number 8. Danny Lauby 2 versus Matt Gingy Campbell. I'm Colin Cosell, and you are in the capable hands of Mr. Anthony Eugenia and a man you just watched take down Nick Lindbergh in a thriller, the Scorpion himself, Mr. David Fathom. Gentlemen, take it away.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, I'm being joined by David Fathom. We all just enjoyed a real barn burner of a match by Mr. Fathom. And look at that. Look at those pretty faces.
They got to put those averages up there. You know what I'm going to tell everyone? Everyone always focuses on their averages so much. Got to win the game you're in.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
That's what happened.
Averages are, we've talked about that, a tool, right? You know, an evaluation tool. And but winning is first and foremost. You step up there with a 112. I have this mantra I try and convey to people. I don't know where I heard it, that, you know, a 112, a 116, and a 120 are just sort of, you know, a sweet spot for a top player, because you get two solid cracks at the double. I mean, at the triple right there, right? You know, you don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, and that's why I elected to shoot the 134 versus the 140 there. Was for the leave of leaving yourself in a competent position. You know, the 112 as a top player, you're thinking, bam, I'm going to hit that 80. So 2 darts to the double 20.
3 darts before that, we're thinking about where we want to be.
You're thinking 9 darts out. Yeah, you're definitely thinking 9 darts out. If you're not, then you're not at that next level. But yeah, I mean, we both had moments there where we could have been better. And I obviously give him better. I'm not a very good dart player. I'm a guy that's got to do some hard work to be a good dart player. And I took the whole month off and tried to reevaluate where I'm at. But now we're going to watch 2 guys that are amazing young guys. Matt out of Canada, who's stepped up out of nowhere, and Lobby's doing his thing.
And here we go. This is a quarterfinal, best of 11. Danny Lauby versus Matt Campbell. And as David just touched on, I mean, 2 good young players we've got. Danny Lauby is, you know, obviously now really starting to establish himself. You know, people now are fully aware of Danny, and we watched them in Vegas and such. And Matt jumped on board on this train really big time up in Ontario. We went through Burlington and he wasn't taking darts seriously until Burlington. Really?
Yeah, he even said, you know, he got there and he goes, I wasn't even thinking about it, but he goes, now I'm not actually practicing chase this.
I had a very great conversation with him, albeit, you know, just a messaging one a week or so ago on, you know, he's now a brand new tour card holder, and, you know how these things go, you know, what does that exactly mean, and can you lay it out? And, you know, after a few back and forths, he couldn't be more excited. He's like, I'm in, I'm taking it, I can't, you know, I'll see you in New York, and those, I mean, you know, David, you've been with us from the beginning. I mean, those are the guys that, you know, get us jazzed up, you know, those are the more and more as we have this ball rolling.
And Matt Campbell's one of those guys that people should be excited about. Is nowhere to be seen coming in. He's feeling really good about himself. And, you know, he took down some big names yesterday. He's playing some good darts. I mean, but talking about this match, both of them had that triple in that first round, which is something like they're scattering right now, which is, you know, when you get on that live stream board or you get on a big stage, that moment's a little bit different when you first go up there. You don't know who you are. You can be brilliant all day, and then you get up there and it's... who knows?
So it will sometimes, because we try and evaluate that. You know, we try and evaluate that when we're doing these things. Does it occasionally take a leg or two to make that transition from the floor to a feature board or stream board or something? Does it take a minute to really get acclimated?
Oh, it's more than a minute, because I can guarantee you, I don't like to blow up about things, and in our match, me and Nick. Right, there was something goes on that is going to be a positive for us to change how we do where our camera setups, was because I could notice we have that one camera that follows you as you walk away. As a player, you watch the camera follow the other guy as you're about to throw darts. And Nick said something to me after his shot, and I went, "Thank you," because I didn't want to say anything.
Danny Laube picks up leg number 1, transitions over to double 10. We saw that little exchange, okay, and that's what it was. It was about the tracking camera that'll follow and get, you know, expressions.
We just got to move it higher, but that's what we're doing. With CDC, we're still learning. The live stream, we're learning. Danny's big thing here is the rhythm. I don't know enough about Campbell here, Matt, to say anything other than that he's delivering the goods.
Yeah, he's performing in the last month without a doubt.
You know, you right there, guys will watch the follow and hit a 30, but that 30 could easily have been a 137.
Yeah, so you would say in that, don't even think about that, just move on, right? No. Don't get affected by that, because that easily could have been a 140. So
yeah, these darts he's throwing now is he's getting tight because he's thinking about the missed scoring, you know. And that's the thing is dart players that do, like, there's such a mental part of the game that guys don't pay attention to when they're playing. Like, you see Danny on this wide screen. This is amazing. It's better to watch the guy behind the screen, because good players never show emotion ahead of the toe line. You might see their face, which will tell you a lot. Because if you show emotion ahead of the toe line, you give something to the other guy to feed on. And like Danny's coming back, we'll watch him now. He's not happy where he's at. But Matt's doing the job. He's putting the wood to him.
See,
you know, 63.59, and that could easily be an 83.79.
Danny looking for the big fish. Double bull.
Yeah. And he had to go for it with Matt on the 91.
Indeed. Now Matt's going to start on the bull.
I don't know.
You would? I mean, you know, you're supposed to, right? You open up the text. You open up the textbooks, and that's funny. What it tells you. You know, but
well, the PDC tour is moving away from the bull because they're so good.
Really?
People don't understand that. They don't go for the bull very often anymore because they are that good.
Okay,
they
fair
are
enough.
30%.
Fair enough. That's something to keep watching. Double 17 for Danny Laube to take a 2-0 lead in this quarterfinal, our first quarterfinal. Yeah, break a throw. So that's so, folks. Yeah, you know, we all watch PDC stuff. Keep an eye on that. That they're just now so good that they're going to be much more confident on that triple. They're just going to.
Well, you're seeing the double. You're seeing the double doubles.
Yes, exactly. Much more frequently than you ever did.
Geez, when I started in the PDC, that would have been an insult. You do that to the guy you're upsetting.
Yeah, we've spoken about that this weekend. Yeah, people would take that as an affront that you even attempted it.
Chuck Pulio, being a new guy but being a top guy. He's a big double
Loves
guy,
it. Loves it. I had a whole conversation one time about it. He said, you know what?
Here's a good shot. Yeah,
Matt Campbell.
Let's just get back in the problem.
Yeah,
see, the problem when you play Danny Laube is a great player, but you have to control your own rhythm. Matt, I can tell by how he's stroking the dart, he's a fast guy, but he probably needs to take a moment in between these throws.
Don't let Danny rush him. Don't let Danny make it a quicker boom. Oh, yeah, no, I mean anybody in this particular case.
Don't let
anyone
he's playing dictate your game. Now, it's brilliant when you're playing well. Go as fast as you want, right?
Sure.
But when you're down 2-0, you have to check.
It's the smoothest thing in the world when they're going where you want it and you're ahead, and it's like, man, I'll dance any dance you want right now.
Well, I do like, something I bring to the streams and stuff like that is reading the emotion, because you can't always see the guys when you're playing a guy. You never see the guy's face, but that's where you really see what's going on. And both of these guys are holding the nerve right now. I mean, that was when you see the eyes closed there a little bit, but Danny's tight on it right now. Danny's a total rhythm player, brilliant player.
All right, Matt Campbell here, 115 to get his name on the board here.
It's a good place for this. Oh, me there, right there. I'm aiming at that dart. I don't even look at the triple anymore. See, there you go. But see, Matt doesn't see that exchange that Dan gave.
We've got one more leg here for the Scorpion. I'm being told he's going to be called out to the floor in just a moment. So let's get his. There we go. Matt Campbell puts his name on the board. 2-1 to Danny Lauby in this quarterfinal. We thank David Fathom for sharing a few thoughts with us, and we're gonna bring him to you next time. David, get back out there. David's still in the competition, so they are. I got it in my ear.
Chuck and wait.
They're calling you out on the floor. He's gonna take on the aforementioned Chuck Pulio. So we're gonna wish David well, and I'm gonna continue on in this match. Go, go, go.
I'm going, but as players, watch the expressions on these guys' faces. The more you can hold your nerve, I'm not very good. I show my emotion ahead of the camera, never behind the camera. And that's something that's going on here. 2 things to take away from this match. Always control your own rhythm.
Fantastic.
Thanks,
David, thank you so much.
We'll see you guys.
And we wish David well for the rest of the tour, rest of the event today. Thank you, David, for that. I do always enjoy talking with Mr. Fathom. Danny Lauby fills it up. That's a 180. Good job by Danny Lauby. Putting a little distance here between him and Campbell.
Hey, Anthony.
Hey, Jen. Okay, Jen. We're now joined by Jen Mounts, taking over from Mr. Fathom. And, yeah, I always do enjoy a back and forth with David Fathom.
Yeah, it's lovely to have him in here, especially hot right after a match. However, this is something different going on right now. What an amazing matchup. We thought
these two, yeah.
We expected big things from Matt Campbell this weekend. I was personally very excited to see him here, but of course, we've been waiting for Danny to make it to finals. I think all year he's gotten so close. This is a kid that just does not do worse than top 8.
All right, here he is. Put some distance between him and Matt.
Oh,
all right, so, Matt, here we go. Matt comes up here for a 103. Good job. 3 for tops. No, he's going double 16 to tie this match. All right, Danny gets a reprieve.
He takes advantage of it, slipping in that second dart in there. Gosh, Matt's been just a powerhouse scorer, but he often misses those first chances for the double, and I think that's just the slightest difference. He could dominate pretty much anyone on that floor if he could tighten those doubles just a little bit. But no one can
Matt
keep up with the
having
scoring.
another big weekend.
Yeah.
And we always enjoy watching Danny Lauby play. It's just, it's just a pleasure watching that rhythm that he's got.
Absolutely. It's really fun to be in the control room and try to help with the cameras, because he's so lightning quick, and we got to be on our game to keep up with him.
We had the same conversation last night about this from a scorekeeper's perspective.
Yeah,
for some people, he's a nightmare, but somebody told me that he knows he's a nightmare. I mean that in a good way. That he's got full command of the board, and he knows where he's going, and he knows what he wants. And so he'll tell you, he'll help you out when he does a quick transition all over the board.
Not that Matt's the slowest player out there. I mean, he's on the quicker side himself, but it's a nice, slow, steady, consistent throw. He has a tiny bit of a setup.
Anyone's gonna look slow compared to Danny.
I really think the two of them have talent that is just not parallel to others their age. And you definitely have a lot of players hitting the practice board and working on their mentality, but these two here truly understand time, space, and opportunity.
Danny with a great setup. Yeah, Jen, let's, oh, there we go. Matt Campbell tops.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Not a slight hesitation in between each dart to
and
break
he gets
the
that
throw.
break the throw back.
Excellent.
We have a completely different match here with Matt Campbell having the darts, and yeah, we certainly are excited to see these two players be part of that late 20s, early 30s group that's going to lead us into the next decade, and right behind them as well the players from the junior and the Evolution Tour.
Speaking of which, I just got word that Jamison Merritt walked in and hit a 170 out first leg of his match just now.
On the Evolution Tour?
Yeah, in the Evolution Tour.
Fantastic, Jamison. That is a name, as we've talked about. And another name that everybody's been tracking this weekend. Could you not have a better weekend than Gavin Nickel? Gavin Nickel, folks, yes, today, to follow up on the events of yesterday, he sweeps yesterday, a junior tour event, 2 evolutions, and today he was crowned. He went out and earned the title of 2018 CDC Junior Tour Champion.
That's a 180.
Fills it up, Matt Campbell. Great job. Matt taking it by this leg by the reins.
No hesitation. Danny walking up, pounding out an 83.
The 16 to leave tops when he goes, and he will go again. Danny back on 255. So let's see if Matt can make this match. Matt takes tops. We're tied at 3 legs apiece. This is a quarterfinal, best of 11. So the player who can win the next can put 3 more legs on his tally will advance to the semifinal. So Gavin Nickel now is the CDC Junior Tour Champion, and he is now going to play in England in the JDC Junior Darts World Championship. A phenomenal opportunity. So he's going. Jamison Merritt is going. Connor Zaragoza is going, and Joseph Lenoir. Those are the 4 representatives from North America that are going to go participate and compete December 16th in Bristol, England. Cool.
A to Z Darts and Magic Man Sports Apparel. Very, very, very proud of Connor. He was a new pick for us, and this is his first year playing darts ever. So incredible performances coming from him, making a name for himself so quickly. Yeah.
First year.
His first year.
Kid.
He came from contact sports, more like football, baseball kind of history. Absolutely. His mom is such a good supporter, and she's in my neck of the woods, so we're in constant contact, trying to figure out, what can he do to make a name for himself. CDC is a good chance, I think.
Thrilled to have him. Danny Lauby, double 16.
Just neck
hope.
And neck.
Danny's got hope. Good luck by Danny. Danny shooting upper 70s, and Matt's in the lower 70s. Good competitive match. Couple of nice outs apiece.
Gosh, the concentration from Matt, it kills me. I'm afraid to look away from the face. He's just such steady as a rock.
You.
Yes. He's steady as a rock.
He'll put you into hypnosis.
He's one of the most comfortable 20 shooters, not by this round, but gosh, just watching him out on the floor and watching what he's done on this stream, I've just never seen better consistent shooting on the 20. And like I said, if he could just not get in his head about missing the double first couple rounds, I noticed when he's walking back away from the line, he'll mutter to himself just the slightest bit. You won't see it on the camera, but just that slightest little mutter starts to take him a little bit out of his game, and that comfort's gone.
Sure.
So when he's shooting the 20, he's scoring well, he's not saying a word. I think that would be the greatest transformation for him.
And it'll come.
Here
you got 2 of them, Matt, triple 10. All right. Yeah, it's a part of a development and a learning process. Danny, another triple gives him a bull. Oh boy. All right, Matt Campbell stepping to the line again to tie this match up.
Oh, missing to the 9.
All right, double tops. He fixed it. 1 dart at a double. He cost himself a dart there. 6 for a double 20.
Just like that. Boom, boom. Danny's back up 5-3. One more leg for the win to break the throw. What a good position to be in. Matt's got a little bit of work to do here. I think, yeah, 100 will be fair.
That'll help.
Yeah,
That'll help
a little.
to follow up that 41.
Oh, that's a 180.
Oh, boy.
I don't do it as well as Paul Burns, but I try.
Oh, that was a lot of fun. I got to say, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Paul's a great New York character, and as I tried to lay out, a real great, dart guy, and he had just caught me early in the year. He said, "Do you think I could sit in there once?" I said, "Yeah, of course. Come on in. We'll we've got some." He's a big dart enthusiast, so yeah, that was a lot of fun. He almost hit the roof when he hit when Tony hit the 180.
All right, Danny. He almost hit that 170. I saw earlier. Can't do the 140, but he's got a great situation here. 80 left for the match.
He's coming back. He did enough to put him in a nice spot. That 80 is a nice, comfortable place to be. Good,
nice pick.
Good dart, yeah, by Matt to try and put a little pressure. Tops.
Oh, just under.
See, now this is the importance of that last dart. Matt puts in that triple, at least gives himself a puncher's chance, but a 1 won't do it. So Danny Lauby's going to come to the line for double 10 to advance to the semifinals of event number 8. And
just
he
like
does
that. Matt hadn't even finished walking back from the line, and now he's shaking his hand. What a fantastic match.
So there we are. Danny Lauby is your first person booked in the semifinals of the Dart Connect Digital Steel Experience, event number 8 on the 2018 Magic Darts Championship Dart Circuit, the road to the Continental Cup Tour Championship.
That beautiful banner. This has been our Dart Connect Digital Steel Experience. For those of you, you've seen the scoring application time and time again. It's truly a fantastic tool for practice at home. I'm going on, I think, 4 years subscribing with them. You can go to dartconnect.com, get yourself a subscription. It's one of the most affordable technologies out there. Gosh, I would take advantage of it, while the price lasts. We've had a really fantastic weekend, some great guest commentators as well.
Fantastic.
We've got a big match coming up for you all. Jim Long versus Gary Mawson. Number 1 versus the number 2 seed for the Canadian side.
On the Canadian,
My
right? Well,
goodness.
in the rankings of
the
Canadian Canadian citizens in position for a PDC World Championship spot. That is going to be amazing. Well, thank you, Jen, for jumping in after the Scorpion had to go hit the floor. So we'll see what happens with David. David's out there playing Chuck Pulio. We know we've got Danny Lauby in there, so you can go to dartconnect.com and you can see the bracket. You can see all the scores and everything. So we're gonna sign off for a moment, and then we'll be back with our first semifinal of the day. Or is this a quarterfinal coming up? Long and Mawson.
I believe it might be a quarterfinal, but I'll check the bracket. I rushed in here without my laptop.
Okay, we'll see you in a few moments, folks. Thanks.
ahead, brother. Oh, yeah.
An extra $70. Now, you know, and I find too, Matt, that I enjoy the warm-up games.
He's a homosexual. Gay American.
Now we got a dead black
Welcome back to Brooklyn, New York. The Magic Darts Championship Darts Circuit Road to the Continental Cup continues here. Event number 8, the Dart Connect Digital Steel Experience, and I am Colin Cosell, joined by Jen Mounts. And Jen, what a top 8 matchup we have here. Jim Long versus Gary Mawson. Now, as of yesterday, Gary Mawson was leading Jim Long 39-38, number 1 and number 2 in Canada. And because Mawson couldn't make it due to travel issues, Jim Long finished in the top 8 yesterday and automatically got 6 points. So he is now the number 1 Canadian over Gary Mawson. And we were just remarking, if Mawson hadn't made it today, what a detriment that would have been, because here Jim Long is once again, but now they're going to face off against each other. Holy cow.
Gary would have been toast if he didn't make it today. So thank goodness he was able to fly in. Players here, but it's all working out for him now. He has his chance, and this will be such a crucial match. The difference between quarterfinals, semis, and finals, points-wise, will make a world of difference, and could set up potentially one of the two for an easy finish of the year in Philadelphia.
Well, as of 24 hours ago, or maybe a little bit more, once again, Gary Mawson with 39 total points in 2018 to Jim Long's 38, but now Jim Long is at 34. 44, and Gary Mawson at 39. So much on the line here. Not to mention the PDC championship spot, or the shot to go to the PDC, but also a shot to make it to the semifinals here for CDC Tour event number 8, the 4th weekend of our tour. So, Jen, we've seen these guys. We saw a lot of Jim Long yesterday and his statuesque form.
That's right.
His brilliant, beautiful form. And, of course, Gary Mawson is no stranger to this kind of, this caliber of a matchup. So it's just, I mean, a truly remarkable thing for me as a commentator. I'm sure you'll agree, to be able to cover a match of this magnitude, especially with everything that's on the line. So, I'm making a prediction that this goes all the way.
Oh, absolutely. And Gary, historically, is such an amazing player. He's done big things. He's represented us in the World Championships. He was a U.S. player originally, and now we are now considering him a Canadian. He's lived there long enough.
So he's a Canuck, a Hab. He is a Canadian, through and through. And he's taking on the accent a little bit, too. It's great.
Oh, you think so? It's amazing how that happens.
Yeah, you just pick it up wherever you go. Luckily, I have not picked up the New York accent.
Well, a little bit. when you can turn it on.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, you can turn it on and off.
Forget about it. And, of course, New Yorkers embrace that so much so that when you're exiting Brooklyn, there's a sign on the Brooklyn Bridge that says, "Now leaving Brooklyn, forget about it." That is a fact.
Is there a sign that says, "I'm walking here"?
No.
Dang.
No, there is... I think there's one going into Queens, or leaving. You're now leaving Queens. It says "Oy vey." So there we got a shot of Matt Gingy Campbell, who was just taken out, as you saw here on the main stage against Dan Lauby, Lauby Jr. Beat him 6-3 in the top 8 to advance. So.
Right, so Danny's sitting in semifinals. He is the only person currently waiting there. We are waiting on a match in the quarterfinals of David Fadden versus Chuck Pulio, mentor versus trainee. And we've got Darren Young and Gary French going on right now. That's an incredible match as well. So head on over to dartconnect.com and you can view those matches simultaneously along with this stream.
So there might be a couple of legs here where I just leave the room to go watch the darts going on around there.
I'll cover it. It's fine.
That's wow. That's unbelievable. And then, of course, you got Gary French versus Darren Young. I believe they're at a combined height of about 280 feet. They're two large gentlemen who also throw large darts. They're extraordinarily talented. So the match is going on right now. Teacher versus student with Fadden and Long. Not Long. Fadden and Pulio. And, of course, you've got French and Young. And, wow, just tremendous darts. But we are about to get underway here. We are underway. Jim Long leading off with a ton. And Mawson to follow. Again, this is a best of 11 race to 6 for a spot in the semifinals here in the quarterfinals of the CDC Tour event number 8.
Decent start here for these two. And you know what's so amazing about the CDC is when you get into the quarterfinals, you're looking at 4 finals matches is what it looks like to us.
Yeah. And it's felt that way since, we had a couple there in the top 64. Definitely had a few in top 32, and Anthony and I were talking about that, and we were really, I'm dumbfounded. He prides himself on it. Just the wealth of talent in that room, and that has been culminated and cultivated here in the CDC. And how, I mean, obviously the top 16 or ranked, they get a little bit of an advantage seeding wise, but otherwise it's kind of wide open there, and it's so much talent. Any of these matches could be finals.
And it's so crazy. Even right off the gate, we started with Gary French and Ross Snook, and Snook being such an amazing Canadian player. I mean, we've seen him shoot some of the best darts he's shot on the live stream. In my personal opinion, I think he really shines under the camera and lights, and just unfortunately nothing clicked for him this morning. So we're hoping to showcase some better darts from his side in the future, but. Gosh, such a powerhouse matchup to begin with, and that's what you see when someone doesn't have their tour card. They're not a tour card holder just yet, or they're coming in through the qualifiers. Okay, Jim pushing ahead here, started us off. Just missed a $180. Pardon me, I was blabbering on, but
no.
Now sitting on a 65.
No, this is where we get to get all the other information out here early in the match before it gets down the nitty gritty. Because as I said, I have a feeling we're going to be.
Wow.
Buckling up for this one. Jim Long takes the first leg 1-0 against Mawson, so he holds serve there. Mawson to lead off the second leg. Long came so close yesterday. And even Ross Snook, take a look at what he did yesterday. He looked fantastic.
Mawson
nice.
with a 180.
Max for Mawson to lead off. And Jim Long answers with a 95. And then we've got Jim following up with a 95. Lawson following up with a 99. Jim Long, after leading off the 95, drops a dart there. Oh, he's got that straight face.
Mm-hmm.
Mawson as well, it's just kind of, he looks so calm up there, both of them.
Yeah,
hate to see a Canadian Civil War, but at the same time, I love seeing Canadian Civil War. Beautiful darts by Mawson there, by the way.
180, 99, 140 to set himself up for hopefully a 12 darter out here. Possibly 11 darter.
Yeah, he's got a shot at an 11. Gets the single. And double top.
Wow.
Gets it. Buckle up, folks. This is just the beginning. This is going to be Jim's last name. It's going to be a long one. That was the joke. It was terrible. I apologize.
I'm
sorry, Jim.
I didn't think you would set it up like that. I thought you were going to finish your own joke quickly.
No,
I
just left that one out there to see what happened. All of my jokes have failed. I'm going to stick to straight broadcasting here.
No.
Mawson trying to open up with another max.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
In between the two barrels, the reverberation, I think, from bouncing off each of them knocked it right out.
Had this been football, that would have counted for 3. That was a beautiful field goal, but it's not. And he was denied the 1080 Jim Long. Now comes away with the 60.
So what's on the line here for this match? The number 1 and the number 2 seeded Canadian slot is between Jim Long, who pushed ahead by 5 points by placing top 8 yesterday in event number 7. Gary Mawson, due to bad weather and bad luck, couldn't make it and had to show up and start playing today in order to get his title back. He was the first seed. So Jim sitting in the better position here. If he wins this match, he is guaranteed to be far ahead in the race going into Philly and ending our year.
So both men know what's on the line, and obviously Gary, the embodiment of the dedication to this and knowing where he stands in these standings, knowing that there's one more tour stop, and that will be in Philadelphia in just a matter of a few weeks. 3 weeks we'll be in Philadelphia, or everyone else will. I unfortunately will not.
That's right.
Nice 1040 there out of Gary. Jim Long now trying to set himself up for an out and trying to hold serve here. He's having a little trouble with the trip 20, but he finds the trip 19. Nice cover shot there. Leaves him 122 if he gets a shot at it. Mawson, 57. 10 right on command, 32. Just outside. Jim Long, not an easy task, but doable. 122 out. Tried to get that trip 18. Just outside. Finds it there, though. A solid 90, leaves him 32. Does he get a shot at it? That's up to Gary Mawson, who says...
Absolutely
no,
not.
Not a chance. So Mawson wins back-to-back. He breaks and gets a lead off this fourth leg. Taking down Jim Long in decisive fashion right there. No margin or room for error here between these two players at all. Zero mistakes can be made, especially this far along and with this talent level.
Gosh, look at these averages. The best of the weekend. Gary Mawson averaging a 102. Jim Long trailing behind just a little bit with a 93. Jim has been leading our leaderboard as a -- 1 spot for quite some time. Today, he's sitting at a first 9 average of 96 for the entire day.
Well, the best I saw, Nick Lindberg led off against Fathom. He destroyed the first leg with a 110 average, and then obviously it leveled out from there. But yeah, Jim Long has just been steady and strong, pretty much just like his stance at the line.
Absolutely. 6 1080s under his belt before this match, so we can add 2 to those, I think. If not, was it 1 so far?
I definitely know 1.
Yeah, they have 1 apiece at least.
Mawson had 1 as well, so or a couple. So they're both playing the style of dart we expect out of them. High caliber.
Yeah, I believe Gary's really coming alive this match. We featured him earlier today. It wasn't the highest caliber that he was capable of, but this is looking a little more normal to his true nature. 102 average.
Yeah, he's just such a tremendous dart player. He's just an absolute powerhouse. And a solid ton there out of Mawson, leaving himself 102 out, and he will guaranteed have 3 darts at that out. Now Jim Long trying to set himself up. Should he get that opportunity? Nice ton there. So that does leave him an out. And once again, it's up to Gary Mawson. Well, it falls in there. And the double 16.
Wow.
Got it.
A 102 checkout, a 15 darter by Gary Mawson to push ahead 3-1 over Jim Long.
So 102 out. He's 102 average for the match. And now there's a little bit of pressure on Jim Long. Mawson halfway to the promised land being the semifinal. Well, we've got the beginning of this leg going on. How are the rest of the matches looking, Jen, if you don't mind me putting you on the spot right now?
Oh, yeah, no problem. I'll go back to those very quickly. Right. In the meantime, I forgot to let everyone know yesterday, anyone in the Virginia area are looking to become a part of the CDC, we have what is called Q School that is run all throughout the nation. The Washington area Open is coming up soon. Let me look at the dates here. August 31st. So you can win your 2019 CDC tour card if you're the winner of this Q School. So look out for the Washington Area Darts Association. They can help you out, give you some more information. There are flyers up. So that's the Sterling, Virginia area. It's a tournament well worth traveling for. Okay, so if we look at our other matches are going on right now, we have Darren Young versus Gary French. They just started off. Darren has secured the first leg.
And Mawson there shooting a 66, looking very displeased. Jim Long needing to pull this out here, the ton 36 out, and he's not going to do it. He needed that in treble 20. Did not fall in, gets a ton, leaves him 36, but there was no pressure there because Mawson with no chance at an out here, sitting at 297.
And David Fadden and Chuck Puleo have not started their match yet. So that will be our remaining quarterfinal. Just outside. Oh, my goodness.
Brutal, but he will have 3 more darts a dead guaranteed. But he probably does not want to tempt fate against someone like Gary Mawson, and I know he knows that. Double bowl. Leaves him 157. That's treble, treble, double top. Now Jim Long, double 18, finds it there, cuts the lead to 3-2. Mawson to lead off this 6th leg, which so far has been, this match has been living up to its billing. Ooh, Mawson with some errant darts there. Gary Mawson leading off with a 23. Very uncharacteristic. Well, I doubt he was terribly shaken by that last leg, but Jim Long unable to find the treble as well. So maybe we got the mid-match doldrums here going on for these two gentlemen, these two extraordinary shooters. Mawson with a 95 average on the match, and Jim Long with 92. Two of the best averages this far along in a match that we've seen today between the two competitors. Between any two competitors, I should say. A 99 there for Long. And now Gary Mawson at the line, sporting a beautiful orange with black trim CDC shirt. He's a proud member of the CDC.
Absolutely. I believe he's been a part of it from the beginning as well.
Yes. Yes, and he's been a very enthusiastic advocate of the CDC and the tour stops, and getting people back involved and getting high caliber shooters out there. And to see someone like Mawson out there is definitely reason enough for any shooter who wants to see how good they really are to come out there and play. There's some solid ton out of Mawson. And now Long. Sitting at 280. If he hits a max here, or even a ton 40, it'd be a good leave. And he does. He pulls off the ton 40 there, cuts the score in half. Now Mawson trying to follow suit. Falls into the singles. Second one, miles above. Third one sails in there, so he's keeping it neck and neck. Jim Long with the big opportunity here to notch this thing at 3. First dart drops in, perfect. Second dart, not so much. But a good ton leaves him double top. Gary Mawson, who already had a 102 out. Can he up a little bit with a ton 36? Trip 20 does not fall in, so he will not be able to. He drops down for that third dart, leaving himself a 40. Jim Long to tie it up, double top. Got it.
He does. He holds throw and will be tied up 3-3, moving on a race to 6.
And just like that, Jim Long now has the higher average. He's got 93 in the match to Mawson's 91 on the match. Still two phenomenal numbers.
This actually happens to be our last quarterfinals match. Pardon me, the bracket just hadn't updated yet, but we do know now Chuck Pulio has won over David Fathom 6-5. What a close match.
I had a feeling that one was going to go the distance.
Yes.
When you said that, I was like, I could have sworn I saw them playing before, and maybe they were warming up, but
my apologies.
Wow, no worries. So student beats teacher.
And update on Darren and Gary, who are going on at the same time. So Darren's winning 2-1 over Gary French, Darren Young.
Wow, that Big Daddy versus Big Frenchie. So let's keep an eye on that one. That should be very, very exciting.
So we'll be moving on into the semifinals, and then the finals, and our day will be over. Our weekend, the Dart Connect Digital Steel Experience, almost at an end. I always get a little sad around this time of day on these weekends.
It is. I mean, it goes by so fast.
It really does. Oh, tough darts for Gary, slipping into that treble 5.
Yeah, after the amount of work you put in, and then it just zips right by, and then it's on to the next one. The planning immediately begins for Philadelphia. And just so the players know, and listen, I'm just a broadcaster. That's all I do, but I'll tell you this. These guys put in a lot of work setting this stuff up. I witnessed it firsthand. It's pretty incredible. Just keep that in mind when you see them. Give them a thank you, because they've earned it. They really do work hard. And, of course, in turn, we appreciate the players coming out and playing and showing their support. So this is a wonderful symbiotic relationship here between the players, the CDC, and, of course, Dart Connect. So cannot stress that enough. Superb darts out of Jim Long so far. Gary Mawson with his back up against the wall a little bit right now. He's cooled off a bit. Comes with a 59. That is not going to be enough to leave him an out. 175. So Jim Long, top, double top. Oh, and he got it. Jim Long takes leg number 7. So now he was down 3-1 not too long ago, and suddenly it's 4-3 Jim Long shooting 95. Mawson has cooled off a bit. I don't think that's the way it's going to end. I'm sure Mawson will pick himself back up again, given the stakes at hand.
Absolutely. I agree. I think Mawson knows better than anyone. He needs to do something in order to keep things exciting for us in Philadelphia. When all of our final points are going in, it'll be such an exciting time. You all, that is August 25th and 26th, Philadelphia, for our final CDC Tour stop before the Continental Cup in Los Angeles.
And let's keep in mind the other aspect of the CDC. The top American and top Canadian will get a ticket to the Ali Pali. Darren Young, Chuck Pulio, Danny Lauby. These are all players that are still alive right now and are still playing. Leonard Gates is not here this weekend. DJ Sayre was not here this weekend. So there could be a little bit of shakeup. Kind of Darren Young has everything in his own hands right now. He's got that commanding lead in first place, but someone like Chuck comes along, or Lobby, could change everything. So
absolutely, Darren Young is looking really good this weekend, though, getting a couple of points yesterday and close to getting into the semifinals if he can survive against the powerful Gary French.
French, of course, yesterday put on quite the display, taking down an absolute gauntlet of powerhouse players. If you're not aware of what happened, he took down Chris White, he took down Lauby, and he took down, who am I missing?
I'd have to go back and check.
It was a big name too. Actually, you know what? I think
Mawson
I've got it right
securing a tie here, 4-4 now.
And Mawson is coming up big exactly the way we expected him to.
And it really is incredible. If you haven't heard the news, the CDC has been awarded 2 spots into the PDC World Championship. So what we're watching right now is the number 1 seed, Jim Long, and the number 2 seed, Gary Mawson, for the Canadian side. So the top Canadian and American player will have a direct road to the Ali Pali. This is the 4th year of premier level competition for the championship dart circuit. We've been featuring such an outstanding mix of top players across the country. And we're just so excited to be able to showcase some thrilling matches for you all over the weekend during the Digital Experience, Dart Connect Digital Steel Experience.
It's been a lot of talking.
It's
a lot. A lot of talking this weekend. So, as advertised and expected, this match is notched at 4. Jim Long hitting big darts when necessary. Gary Mawson doing the same.
Big buck 80 from Jim Long. Second round here, followed by a 140. Fantastic setup for a nice 121. Let's see if he can do a 12 darter.
And if not, no pressure.
Double bull.
Oh my
Trouble
goodness.
13.
No
Double
way.
16.
No
Jim
way.
Long, 121. Check out to push ahead. 5-4 to hold throw.
Absolutely tremendous darts. Now, does that shift the momentum for Jim Long, who now is shooting a 97? He's been leading all day with the average and showing why right now. Mawson having a tough time finding the triple 20, which I doubt will last for long. But holy cow, what a gorgeous out by Jim Long. And kids at home, study your outs. That is case in point.
Beautiful 140, just a little low on that last start. Would have been a fantastic start to this possibly final leg for Jim to win the match and move on into the semifinals.
Mawson says not so fast, comes back with his own ton 40. And now Jim Long at the Aki. Right smack dab in the middle of that trip 20. Second one gets away from a little bit. Third one, right where the first one went. Ton 25 for Jim Long. Now these guys are bringing out the heavy artillery. And not a moment too soon. There is so much on the line right now. For a spot in the Ali Pali. A spot in the semifinal for event number 8.
This is going to be crazy. The winner of this match moves on to play Chuck Pulio, and the winner of the Darren Young versus Gary French match will move on to play Danny Lauby Jr.
Wow. Just tremendous. And Lauby Sr. had a good run today as well.
Yes, he did, and it was amazing to have him on the stream. She truly shot some fantastic darts.
He did. It absolutely did. Jim Long now, double 18 to win. Double 9.
Just under. Gary will have one chance to tie this up. I think this is do or die here.
He gets the triple. Gets the 1, double top to notch it.
Oh my goodness.
Just outside now, Jim Long. And Mawson knows it too. He's holding his head. He is not too pleased with himself. Jim Long lines up, hits a single 1, greatest of ease, double 4. And that's it. Jim Long has done it. The Battle of Canada goes in favor of Jim Long, who will now extend his lead over Gary Mawson in tour points, and he has secured himself a spot in the semifinals for, I believe, the second consecutive day.
That is right.
So what a weekend for Jim Long. What an average, and what just an incredible display of darts there by the statue himself, Jim Long.
Getting congratulations from his friends, Chuck Pulio, knowing who he's going to face. It's going to be Chuck versus Jim Long. Jim already 5 points ahead of Gary and pushing further. Gary finishing in the top 8 position. If Jim can go into the finals, that'll create a commanding lead for him for the top Canadian slot into the PDC. Congrats, Jim Long.
Wow, what an incredible display, and it's only going to get better. We are going to be back momentarily with our semifinal. It is CDC Event number 8. That's Jen Mount. I'm Colin Cosell. Don't go anywhere. The Magic Darts Championship Dart Circuit Road to the Continental Cup continues in just a few moments. Stay tuned.
So I can cork now then. I can just cork and have 9 darts.
Yes, pretty much ready to cork, so let me know when you're ready. They're getting the string going, so in just a minute.
You let us know where it's supposed to cork. How's that?
Coming to you from Brooklyn, New York, this is the Magic Darts Championship Dart Circuit Road to the Continental Cup. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm Colin Cosell. I know I sound exasperated. It's because take a look at this matchup we are about to have. I am joined by Jen Mounts. We've got Darren, Big Daddy Young versus Danny Lauby 2. Lauby Jr., if you will. His father had a great run today, but Danny... with one heck of a run himself into this semifinal. And if you take a look at the CDC 2018 Tour Points list, if you want to do that as a sort of a seeding, you could say this is number 7 versus number 1. No matter which way you cut it, you've got just an outstanding matchup. Darren Young just beating Gary French in a thriller. And Lauby's just kind of been in cruise control of late.
Absolutely. We saw Danny have an amazing quarterfinal match against Matt Campbell, all the way from Ontario, Canada. Had quite a tough round beforehand, 5-4 over Robbie Madra, excuse me. And then Darren on the other side, we wish we would have streamed it, but played an amazing quarterfinal against Gary French, coming out on top 6-4. So we're looking at a pretty good first 9 average, 93.7 PPR for Darren, a high average finish. Then again, we've got some more big rounds from Danny with the 5 maximums, 24 140s, and 71 100 plus rounds. So just if you could get that average finish up, I think would be a completely different semifinals match for him. So I'm very excited for this one.
I mean, you take a look at what Lauby has done, taking down Gene Waltz, taking out Robbie Madra, taking out Gingy Campbell. Absolutely incredible. But on the flip side, you got Darren Young, who has just been absolutely dominant all day until he ran into the giant killer himself, Gary French, who, by the way, has just gotten back into competitive darts as these two competitors shake hands and has really made quite a splash. He won Mr. NYC. He's the defending NYC. And, of course, he's had a great weekend, 2 great runs here until he lost to a red-hot Darren Young today, lost to a red-hot Robbie Madra yesterday, and Madra went on to the finals and would lose to Nick Lindberg. So we'll see how this one pans out. Darren Young, after an early exit yesterday, right back into regular Big Daddy form, opens up this first leg with a 77. Now, Lauby opens up with a beautiful round, followed up with a 1040. And would you take a look at that? We've got a battle of southpaws. Lefty versus lefty.
Absolutely. Got your rhythm shooter versus the king of knowing how to slow things down and play at his own pace, Big Daddy Darren Young. Wow, Danny coming in hot.
Danny Lauby, there's everything about his shot is unorthodox. Everything. The thing is, he was able, and we talked about this 2 years ago, I believe it was. He made it to the finals, or close to, in the CDC Championship in LA. And I talked to him about his shooting style, and I said, it looks like basketball. And he goes, well, there's a reason for that. I learned how to play darts after I was playing basketball, so I kind of throw it the same way. And I said, he must have been an accurate shooter. He said, no, it just happened to work itself out for darts, and boy, has it. So you take that, his unorthodox shooting style. If he's not feeling a number, he has no problem moving anywhere around the board, and he knows his outs. And that is the most important aspect to his game. No matter what style he's shooting or where the dart's going or what number he feels like destroying at that time, he just...
2 16s, 2 8s.
Outside. And it's rapid fire too, but he knows his outs. He knows exactly where he needs to put the dart, and a lot of the time he puts it there. Darren Young trying to set himself up for an out, because Lauby obviously will have 3 more darts at the double 8. Darren goes for the bull there now. Danny Lauby will waste no time at all. Dart. Just out. Walking up.
Oh.
Just inside.
Too far inside.
All right. Darren Young could get the biggest out we've seen on the stream today. But that will not be the case. All right. Darren's not too pleased right there. Got to wonder if he ran out of a little steam against Gary French, if that took anything out of him, if there's any fatigue there. After what seemed like it was going to be an easy match. Lauby, 4, 2, double top. Double one. No, not house. So now Darren Young with an opportunity. Lauby crushing everything on the board except for the doubles.
I don't know about fatigue when you have a historic player like Darren Young. I think what it comes down to is he simply just knows how to reset and prepare himself for what's about to come. He slows down the pace. He's a master of timing, and he knows how to hit big darts when it's important. Just in the corner there.
All right, Lauby. One, two, three. Yeah, no, we're just as surprised as you are, Danny. He just looked at it like it insulted him. Oh, 15 for Darren. Why not do it again? Nope, he decides he wants to go for the double top. Stick within your comfort zone, people. And he gets it with good reason. I would have gone 15. If that first one goes into 15, 15, 15, double 16, but Darren is slightly better than I am, so I'm going to go with his choice there. And, of course, the man he just beat, Gary French, hanging out and watching. So how do you like that?
Oh, I love that.
Supporting the man who beat you.
I do.
Yeah, both men walked in after the match like they had just come out of a war together.
Well, oh, gosh, here we go. Oh, beautiful 140 to start off with Darren. I think that's an amazing thing to see, just because it's one thing to play an opponent, but it's another to watch them in full, in their full style, everything when they're shooting and coming back from the board, and that will teach you, if you play based on your opponent, which a lot of people do, they can't help it. It's human nature, and they got to pull out a little different antics from time to time. If you're not an absolute machine like we've seen on the stream here.
Oh yeah.
But who knows? Who knows what's going on? Maybe Gary's there to support a person that he lost to, or someone he's trying to learn from.
Well, either way, we excuse me, we appreciate his being there. I think I'm going to go with the support route. And now Darren Young starting to light up that triple 20. Seems every other round he's just going to town on it. But now he slips into the 1 a couple times. Lauby, who let that first leg get away from him. And now Darren Young trying to set himself up for an out. Just outside the trip 20. Drops down, crushes the triple 19. Right back at it again, and he does. He nails it. 134. Lauby now trying to set himself up. 45 is not going to do it. Leaves him 171. Darren Young sitting at 105 to take a 2-0 lead. Keeping in mind this is a race to 6, best of 11. 85. Now he's down to 70. Hits the single 10 to leave him 60, so he will be going for 20 or 55. No, he had another one. I apologize. He's going to go 15 double top if he gets a chance. And he does not. Oh my goodness, Danny Lauby, just tremendous darts right there. Sorry, I combined sentences there. I was going with 2 different darters. I apologize.
Right,
There's the double 10 out of Darren Young. And he takes a 2-0 lead. Brings his average up to 72 in the match. Lauby 2. 75 average comes in there. Opens with a ton. Darren Young at the hydration station. And now at the Aki. We've got Mr. McGowan, I believe, scoring this match.
He does offer to chalk every once in a while if there's something that happens or someone has to leave or an emergency. You do see Ken up there quite a bit. In our other semifinals match, we have Chuck Pulio pulling ahead 3-2 over Jim Long currently. We have one heck of a finals coming up.
Darren Young. Start.
Nice 121. Good answer to the 180 that Danny had thrown the round before, starting off hot. 100, 180, followed by a 100, I believe. Yep.
Indeed. 100 on the nose. Yeah, there's so much going on in the dart world right now. We're trying to keep abreast of all of it, especially before we get into the real nitty-gritty of this particular match. So apologize for any lag there. We're trying to keep on top of everything that's going on. There's been some incredible darts just a couple doors down. The Evo Tour. Gavin Nickel has just been tearing it up over the whole weekend. Beautiful darts there out of Danny Lauby, leaving himself. 32, the double 16, Darren. Wait, do we have a scoring issue?
Oh,
he left. Okay, there we go. Correction, leaving him 40. Thought seemed something amiss, but I didn't want to say anything out loud. Darren Young lining up just outside that trip 20. 58 scored, 164 remains, so Darren is down to an out, but he doesn't get there. Lauby 2 knocks it down, making it 2-1. Little fist bump from Darren. Darren Young and Young Lauby. Since we started the day with Patrick and Patrick, that would be, of course, Gallagher.
Danny starting off. Beautiful 140. Good answer for a chance to break throw here. We put him in a much better position after being down 2-0.
Early in the stream, we had Lauby Sr. taking down John Holland 5-1. And, oh, just outside the max for Lauby 2. Big Daddy at the Aki.
Danny's just throwing too tight of a grouping. If he just squeezed a little over to the side, he might be able to fit that third one in there, but he got blocked off 2 times in a row.
Ironically, the thing that seems to work so well for his throwing style, as unorthodox as it is, once he gets into that groove, he just stays right there.
Yeah, he does.
And that's exactly, I mean, what you want to do in essence to knock down a ton 80, to get any sort of max or just any general consistency in your scoring. So listen, I'm not saying it's the right way or the wrong way. It just seems to be the way that works for Danny.
Darren looking for a switch, and he gets it.
Nice cover on that third dart by Big Daddy.
37.
Trip 17.
Oh,
doesn't
just
get
missed
it. Goes back upstairs.
Up. Yep.
Can you believe the rate, the accelerated rate at which he does that? And I mean, it's amazing. This is such a contrast between these two players, and the only thing they really have in common outside of being lefties is their talent level.
You can't denote their dashing good looks. There's quite a bit in common.
I mean, sure. They're not my type. But, no, you're right. And beautiful finish there on that third dart. Darren Young leaving himself double top, but will he get a chance at it? Lauby.
He's going to go 16 route. Oh.
Darren Young loves double top. How much does he love it? Oh, not much now. Dropping down to double 10. Maybe he's found a new love.
Not quite. He's going to fall inside. He does favor the tops, though.
He does.
It's about eye level for him. So I think we used to keep a count of how many tops he hits, and it's the percentage is pretty high.
And Lauby doing the wire trick he did in the first leg. All around the double. Darren Young, double 5, has been elusive for so many players this weekend, including him. And the double 2 to get the 3-1 lead. And he gets it. Darren Young, smooth and steady, wins the race, or at least that leg, and he is halfway to the finals, taking a 3-1 lead. Laube leads off this 5th leg. Beautiful darts. 95. And now Darren Young trying to extend his lead. Darren only shooting a 74 average, but he does have the 3-1 lead over Danny's 85 average.
It's his finishing. It's really helping him in this situation. It's about his timing. He's just such a seasoned player.
Yeah, Darren's been around for a long time. That is a tremendous ambassador for this game in the United States and in North America in general. Such a tremendous talent, and a natural talent at that. You know, someone like me would require a lot of practice. Darren's he's just a natural. 140 for Laube. Puts a little bit of pressure on Darren for this particular leg, not in the grand scheme of things, but that can change. Plenty of darts still remain. Guaranteed at least a couple more legs. Nice cover there with that 3rd dart. 82 for Darren Young. Now Laube pounding it. Comes away with a 138. That'll give him 68. Darren Young doubled over there for a second. Not sure if he was stretching or dropped something, but I'm glad he's back up and at the hockey. Trying to set himself up. And Darren tries to squeeze it in to get the ton. He does not. Now Laube with an opportunity to cut the lead. 67. Oh, he wanted to go to a double top. Was not going to get it that way, so he leaves himself double top, but not in the fashion he wanted to. Darren Young, no matter for Laube, because Darren is not going to give himself or get out in this particular leg. 121, though, leaves him 60, so he is primed for his double top if he gets it. Unless I miscounted something there, but he doesn't get a chance. Doesn't matter if I got the math wrong or not.
Far into the 20, but a nice cover shot on that double 10 to get Danny back into this match, and he's holding his throw, so Darren will be going first here. I think he just got excited.
I mean, can you blame him? It was a nice
of course not. Of course not.
Want to get right back in there.
You know, it's funny you mentioned natural talent, and I talk to so many players, and I think a lot of really talented players themselves believe, you know, all they really need to do is just show up and everything's just going to magically fall in line because of their talent, and then it's just absolutely detrimental when they start failing. And I mean, as a 90s kid, you gotta love Michael Jordan quotes. I might not say it exactly, but he was cut from his high school basketball team. And in a commercial once, he said, you know, maybe it's my fault. Maybe I led you to believe that basketball was a God-given gift and not something that he worked his entire life for. And it's just...
I remember that commercial.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a great ad.
I never forgot it.
I did, but I'm glad you brought that back up because it's such a great point. And I mean, he's the quintessential champion. So, sorry, LeBron.
Yeah, I know. It was directed towards LeBron James, I want to say.
You know, all due respect to LeBron James, but still, Michael's the greatest in my eyes. But I'm an actual child of the 90s, meaning I actually grew up in the 90s.
Right.
You were born in the 90s.
Yes, I was born, but at least I'm an old millennial. I'm a senior millennial.
There you go. As is my wife. But thank goodness for that. And hello, honey, at home. But getting back to these darts, Darren Young sported a 220 and a 3-2 lead. Trying to break that down, leave himself an out. Danny Laube looking a little upset in the background. Not pleased with his darts. Even though he's shooting an 86 for the match. Still trails, and Darren Young, a nice cover at that third dart. Laube just outside of max. Nice ton 40, leaves him 87. Darren Young, 142. One of those outs is real tricky, but not if you're Darren Young. 82 left. That means he'd want to hit that trip 14 to get his double top.
And he does.
This is like practice for him.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable. Leaves himself 20.
I held my breath there. I thought that was going to be in. Okay, 70, 20, double bull. Oh, just outside. Just outside, Danny.
Danny is none too pleased, and justifiably so. Darren Young needs that double 10. Gets it. Nice and easy. Found his spot. Hit it. And now takes a 4-2 lead. 2 legs away from the finals for Darren Young. A place he's been many, many times before. Danny Lauby's been there once, I believe, at least. And 95 to start off for Lauby. Seems to be status quo for him so far. But he really needs to hold throw on this one. Even though we know that Darren does have a couple chinks in the armor if you let him if you let it get there. Hey, we did it. He was up 5-1 against Gary French. Gary came storming back, win 3 straight. And, you know, the deciding match where he won 6-4, the deciding leg, could have gone either way. So,
beautiful 1080 by Danny.
Yeah, I keep talking over Lauby's 1080s.
It's okay.
It seems like it's you know, natural for him.
I'll let him know. We apologize greatly.
He said, say nice things about me. I said, always say nice things
always,
about you, Danny.
always.
I got nothing
yeah.
bad to say about you.
He has nothing but a bright future.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
Goes without saying.
Yeah, there's no reason with his talent and his skill level. He keeps at it and keeps practicing and hones in on that unorthodox but effective style. No reason we can't see him on the PDC stage.
He's another one of those players. He takes this seriously. Everything he does outside, you know, is leading up towards planning 4 trips to England every year. It's incredibly difficult. We're talking about $1,000 plane tickets.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's only so much you can do to keep it up. Especially, you know, as a musician, he's a very talented drummer. But we all know that life, you know.
Oh, yeah. 86 there for Lauby, who will, in fact, have 3 darts. I anticipate he will go the bullseye, the single bull, double top route.
He's a very effective bull shooter.
He loves the bull.
Mm-hmm. And he does. Tops for the win.
Double 10. No, he's inside it.
He's been missing inside a lot, I think.
Yeah.
If he could just get ahead and stay on the outside.
Oh, he's had 3 opportunities. This could be a very different score. It could be flip-flopped right now if Lauby was able to hit the double top or the double 10. Those seem to be his real issue right there. Ton 40 for Darren Young. Lauby trying to walk it in.
There he goes.
The elusive double 5.
Just needed a wonky double to get back into this game.
Why not?
Now we're behind 3-4 over Darren Young. That's to hold throw.
And these two with such respect for each other, which I absolutely love.
Darren's a really good personality for all the players.
Oh, yeah. And he commands the room, too. He comes in, he's such a great personality. He's a funny guy, you know, charming guy, a good-looking guy. He's easy on the eyes as well, but he comes in and just commands it. Lauby just straddling that trip 20, not able to get his 3rd max of the match. But yeah, and he's just a great ambassador for the game. He's great with kids. And we take a look at the JDC up-and-comers here in America and the Evo Tour. And he's very hands-on. He and Chris White, you know, they're also very hands-on with these kids. They want to see this sport grow and thrive here in North America. So again, a tremendous ambassador to the game. And I'm sure Danny absolutely considers him a friend and a mentor to a certain degree as well, beyond just his dad. Because who wants to sit there and listen to the dad all day? Yeah,
there's a barrier there. It's really hard to get past that when it comes to parents.
Hit a ton 80, son. I'm trying, Dad. No, I'm sure that doesn't happen at all. Darren Young hitting at 60 there. Lauby a bit behind. Needs a big, at least ton 40. And he's not going to get it that way. He's looking at the board as if it offended him again. What? So Darren looking to set himself up with a despondent Danny Lauby looking on behind him. Darren trying to figure out what he wants to set himself up with. He's going down to the triple 19. Gets that 80, leaving himself 127 or 129. My math has just been slipping. I don't know what happened.
It's getting late. We'll let you have a pass.
No, because it started this way too, and then I really hit the afterburners in the middle there, and now it's just trailing off again. I guess you're right. At any rate, Darren Young set himself up. He wanted that trip 20, did not get it. So he comes away with the 49, leaving himself 80. We've seen a couple of double-doubles before. I'm just unable to do math. He's at 90. I don't know what is happening anymore. I'm not going to do math. I'm going to wait until the score comes up. And in the meantime, Danny Lauby with a missed opportunity there. And now Darren Young. It was 80.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
I was sitting and thinking and trying to remember.
To lose my mind. Oh, he's going triple and the double 10 to get a 5-3 lead, and he does it. Darren Young now up 5-3 on Danny Lauby. Lauby looks down in disappointment behind him. He knows he's one leg away from watching Darren move on to the finals.
Yeah, Danny's going to have to just surrender to the outcome of that last leg and start off strong. It's 3 legs. That's all he needs. It's just back-to-back. And how many times have we seen people move up 4-0 right off the bat? It's as if you just think of it as a new match, it could be something very accomplishable for him and his talent level. And we know the two of them put in the hard work that you need to be on that stage.
Oh, without a doubt.
Just have to surrender the outcome of what just happened. There he goes.
Yes, I mean, I talk about the natural talent that Darren has. I'm not saying he does not practice.
Oh, no, of course.
You know, okay.
It just got me thinking.
Yeah,
of
course.
I've just been hearing a lot of chatter in the background, and you can just see, this wasted breath that the mentality shift needs to happen. I mean, even for LeBron, after that commercial came out, he went on to finally win his first NBA championship.
That was the only one I enjoyed. No, that's not true at all. I hated all the ones with Miami, but I loved them in Ohio. I loved him winning for Cleveland. That was great, and because Cleveland needs that. Otherwise, Ohio is doing great in the realm of darts. So, just need the greater coverage. Danny Lauby with a solid round, followed by Darren Young with a ton there, and now Lauby trying to get himself set up. And again, this is not a game of inches; it's a game of millimeters. And that's been crushing Lauby. He has not been missing by much.
Yeah, he just happens to be missing inside, unfortunately. So you look at this timing. Look at Darren go. The lower average, but his timing is impeccable.
Well, he's got such beautiful rhythm, brilliant stroke. And now he's going to his favorite number, Danny Lauby, throwing quite possibly the last 3 darts of the weekend. For him, Darren Young, double top to move to the final. Now double 10. Got it. Ladies and gentlemen, Darren Young. This may sound redundant, but Darren Young is back in the finals. He's been there so many times before. Your points leader for the CDC 2018 tour is in the finals once again. Do we have an update on what's going on?
Actually,
elsewhere?
Yes. Let me go back to Dart Connect, and congratulations to Darren. I believe he is in the top of the leaderboard for a reason. His talent is just unparalleled to anyone else. He's clearly proven time and time again what he's capable of doing over and over.
Yeah, Darren's just a mega talent now, being greeted by the man he beat just moments before he took down Danny Lauby.
We do know the outcome of our other semifinals match. Chuck Pulio has won 6-3 over Jim Long.
Wow.
Which is crazy considering what we just saw Jim Long do against Gary Mawson. So we'll see Chuck face Darren in the finals coming up soon.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as Jen said, the finals will be coming up in just a few minutes. This one is going to be absolutely awesome. Darren, Big Daddy Young versus Chuck Pulio. Once again, this is the Magic Darts Championship Darts Circuit Road to the Continental Cup. CDC Event number 8, coming to you from New York City. I'm Colin Cosell, she's Jen Mounts, and we will be back shortly with your Event number 8 Championship. Get ready for this one. You win 6 in the final there?
No, but I mean the one that you just played in. 6-0 or 6-1?
All right, we got a finals. Young and Julio. We're ready.
Ironically, neither of them are really young.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The good battles there.
I forgot there was a window there.
I would like to play with that. No, we don't. Whether it's Canadian or not, let's take it. Derek, my book. Derek, grab your drink. Let's boogie. You get chunked. I ain't getting no damn rest. You ain't getting no damn rest. We got any more of these white cups? Aaron, hi. Next up. Alright. What's that? I gotta get Julio in here? I gotta get Darren in here. I saw Julio in there. Julio's here. I gotta see you. Bag outside that shot. Yeah. Wherever you want. Alright, put it behind the table back here if you want. Or just off frame. Here, how about? Yeah. Nope. Suck it. Right back in there. Good. Right, yep, right in there. That's fine. Yep, it's good. Perfect. Yep. It's out of frame. You know, you can see it. Yeah, Bobby, come on. Get your head down there. Watch your step to it. Luck, brother. See you in 3 weeks. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. For 2 seconds. Good. You gotta go play.
thing is, Chuck, we could get naked right now.
Shoot it out. We won't pay a lot of money on this, so I don't really care. I'm just trying to be friendly. That's all. Normally I don't do it, but I've been called an asshole for not doing it. I just like, hey, all right. I'm just not like gambler by nature, so it's more than, it's not even the money part, it's the gambling. I stick to my values, you know. That's all I have. And hey, I'm not saying about gamblers. I got 50 brothers, you know what I mean?
Let me tell you something else. That little envelope you gave me, I carry with me everywhere I go.
Getting our commentary team together.
And I don't make a habit of it.
Does my hair look okay for
fun,
camera?
you know.
My hair look okay for camera?
Well,
It's a cross
the
between
colors,
your nun and
the
your
color,
commentary.
the color's sticking.
Well, you know, you don't look too much gray in there. I think I just shaved it like his. This is not that gray. That's got a lot of gray on the back, isn't it?
Well, you didn't marry my wife either, so. You know,
True.
We got
I married my
different
wife.
situations. Julio, he just dyes this shit straight up, so.
Yeah. From root to tip, right?
Well, he looks good though, doing it.
Are you ready?
All right, we need cups over here. Check your pants.
Your pants.
My pants.
Cup like a job scrub. Height.
Honey, why don't you check my pants?
Cups. Put your wife's next door. Cups, yeah.
Key word was next door.
Because they need that in a cup. Oh, you hear this? You hear how they treat me?
Actually, in Vegas, CDC is now allowing them to bring their own water.
All right, well,
It's not happening this year.
welcome to Brooklyn. Put it in a cup.
It's not happening this year, so file that.
Put it in a cup, princess.
Well, some people want spring water, not house water. Yeah, right? It's a difference.
No, I'm going to be doing okay, hold on. Here.
Wait, what? Hold on. People say I gotta buy drinks. What the fuck?
Okay, I'll get here and here at the end of the match, ready to go. Here at the end of the match, ready to go. All right, I'm going in. I believe these guys are pretty close to ready to cork. We're going to do the cork.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it comes down to this. Here in New York City, the Magic Darts Championship Darts Circuit Road to the Continental Cup, event number 8, the championship. It is set. We've got Darren Young versus Chuck Puleo. Darren, Big Daddy, taking down Danny Lauby Jr. Chuck Puleo taking down a red-hot Jim Long. And you take a look at these averages. Are they the greatest? No. But have they been strong finishes? Absolutely. Now we've got Darren, of course, our number 1 in CDC 2018 Tour points, and Chuck Puleo is it's number 3 coming into 7 and 8. So this is going to be a match for the ages. I'm Colin Cosell, joined by Jen Mounts. Jen, what do you anticipate out of this incredible matchup?
Well, this is a very important moment for both of these gentlemen because Chuck Puleo has an excellent chance of already withholding his second seed spot because Leonard Gates did not participate this weekend. So we already see him gaining points from yesterday, and he's clearly in the finals now. So we're going to see a big jump for him past Leonard Gates and contending with Darren Young. So he just has to hope that Darren does not do well. Not only does he have to hope that he will win against Darren today, but he's got to hope that he will not finish well in Philadelphia to end our year.
Well, and you take a look at these two gentlemen and their road to get here. Pretty easy. The first 2 rounds, almost identical. You've got Darren winning 5-1 in round 1, 5-0. Round 2, 5-0 in round 3. Then, of course, the tough match against Gary French and the tough one against Lauby, and almost identical from Chuck Pulio the entire way down. The last two matches, of course, were tougher for him, but as we know, the talent pool gets tougher and the darts get harder.
Looks like Darren Young to throw first. He hit a single bull. 9 darts before play going on now.
So you see Chuck Pulio, round 3, tough matchup against Michael Burns. And, of course, Burns, one heck of a shot, 6-5 over his teacher, David Fathom. The Scorpion being defeated 6-5. And, of course, in the semifinal, 6-3, a pretty dominant performance against such a strong competitor in Jim Long. And the same can be said for the semifinal performance Darren Young had against Danny Lauby, too. So all of that is behind them now. It is a clean slate, and there's nothing in front of them, nothing in their way except for themselves to achieve that CDC trophy that you see on the left-hand side of your screen. We are just a few darts away from getting this underway. Scorekeeper Jeff Good will be taking his position as we speak. And my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you hope for. You hope for a matchup like this, and we've seen numerous, myriad matches throughout the day that could have been a final. But I'll be honest with you, I am very pleased with the way this one turned out. This is going to be something.
An amazing Dart Connect Digital Steel experience this weekend. This is the Magic Darts Inc. Championship Dart Circuit, the road to the Continental
Ladies
Cup.
and gentlemen, this is the finals.
And it looks like we are ready to get this thing underway. Big Daddy Darren Young standing on the sideline, sizes up the board. Jeff Good says game on, and we are underway. First start falls into the 20. Now we've seen a few slow starts in every single match, kind of sizing things up and getting into their rhythm. And of course, Darren Young, the quintessential rhythm shooter. Chuck Pulio, kind of similar in that fashion as well. Both these guys take their time, size it up, line it up. 140 to lead off for Chuck Pulio. Great start so far. And again, this is a race to 6, best of 11 to hoist 81. That coveted trophy. 81 there for Young. Now, how does Chuck keep that momentum going? Just outside the trip 20. And, of course, the next one falls a little short. The next one even farther outside, 42. Going for that trip 19. Instead, lands in the thick of the fat. So Darren Young now lines up, hits that trip 20. Next start just south of the trip. Third one just shy as well, but he comes away with a perfectly adequate ton. Chuck Pulio now at the line. 42 points behind Darren. 83. And gets an 83, leaving him 236. So now Darren Young with the 277. He's averaging 75 in the match so far. That 43. Third dart sails just north. Comes away with a 43. Chuck Pulio now trying to set himself up for an out. And he comes away with a ton. He will have a shot at and out after Darren Young sets himself up. He goes just above the trip 20. Blocked himself a little bit. Readjusts to the left. Of course, he is a lefty.
60.
And comes away with a 60, so he will not have an out. Chuck Pulio guaranteed 6 darts at and out here, so he will not be getting out. Drops down. 44. He's going to have a little trouble with that trip 19, even though he keeps going back to it. 44 scored, leaves him 92. There's a 2-dart out. And Darren Young now trying to set himself up, as we know, has been well documented, as we saw in the last round against Danny Lauby, too. He loves the double top. So he'll do pretty much anything in his power to set himself up for that. That's only if he gets a chance. Chuck Pulio now sitting at 72.
Nice even 3 darts to leave himself tops.
Require 125.
Interesting, though.
Yeah, very interesting. I've always wanted to know what it felt like to tower over the board like Darren does.
Darren towers over everything.
Oh,
actually,
yes.
This has been the tallest group of dart shooters I've seen in my life.
Yeah,
this whole weekend
that's true.
has just
That's
been,
American darts for you, though.
Yeah, some just truly gigantic personalities and frames. And there you go. Chuck Pulio takes leg 1, taking double top. No irony lost there. He loves, well, he hit the double top, and that's Darren Young's bread and butter. Now Pulio, after breaking Darren, gets to lead off this second leg.
Oh,
Chuck
140.
looks so focused. How does Darren Young answer Pulio's ton 40?
45.
Not what he wanted. He looked down as he walked towards the board. Of another very expressive dart player. If he is displeased, you will see it in his face. And if he's elated, it's just a big smile.
Lots of room to fit that third one.
And he does.
He does.
And we get our
Big
first
maximum.
first max of the championship coming out of Chuck Pulio, who will require at least 3 darts to get himself down. Darren Young answers right back with ton 80. So here we go, folks. Your 2 finalists showing off their stuff, showing the reason why they're there. Back-to-back ton 80s. Chuck Pulio has been pounding that trip 20. Finally finds a trip 19, leaving himself a gorgeous out.
Beautiful. Ton 37. 140, 180, 137 by Chuck Pulio. His scoring is unparalleled right now.
60.
And he took down the top scorer of the day in Jin Long. So, Chuck Pulio, a chance for an 11 darter.
Oh no, you can't miss the big number.
Still could be a 12 darter though. He's figuring out what he wants to do with 31. As we go 15 double 8. No, he's going for double 12. And he gets it.
Amazing fix by Chuck Pulio.
That is a man who knew what he wanted to do, and he executed it. And in doing so, he takes a 2-0 lead. Darren Young to lead off this third leg.
Raising his average to a 97. Well deserved in that second leg, pushing well ahead. 4 more to go for Chuck.
Chuck with that 12 darter.
Again, this is the CDC Finals Match event number 8. So we are playing best of 11, a race to 6. It's been quite an amazing weekend. Still lots of game left, you all. Please like and share away. We cannot do this without your viewership and your participation, and we greatly appreciate it. We're honored to even just be in the position to where we can bring this sort of talent to your eyes.
And the evolution and the hard work of which does not go unnoticed by these players, and we're hoping it doesn't by you at home. Again, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. The CDC is the real deal, and you're watching some of the best shooters on this continent going head-to-head right now in Chuck Pulio and Darren Young. Chuck coming away with a 60 right there, which for the average darter is a nice round, but for someone of his level, that's a little lackluster. He expects more. Darren Young there, he's a grimace on his face, like what just happened there. Tries to find that trip 19, which he's also really adept at pounding. Darren can absolutely destroy the trip 19. Chuck Pulio now, as we are tied at 341 apiece.
45.
Keeping in mind that Darren led off, however. Chuck Pulio now with 296 after knocking down a 45. So this might be that kind of middle of the match doldrums that we've seen happen to so many players over the weekend and in general.
60.
This game can be so streaky.
Darren putting a quick glance and wondering if there's a disturbance. Yep. He was making it very clear.
Yes, you. Pipe down. We're playing darts here. Of course, it looked like he said that to the camera, so I kind of shuddered at first.
No, Colin. I think we encourage you to say as much as you can about this match.
I thought I was safe, and I guess I am. So Darren Young now comes away with a nice ton. Does not leave himself an out. Chuck Pulio trying to set himself up for one. One heck of a way to do it. Are we going to get another maximum?
135.
And we come away with a gorgeous ton 35 for Chuck Pulio, leaving him a shot to get out. Darren Young just trying to set himself up. 43 for Darren Young, leaves him 138. Not pretty, but it is an out. Whether or not he gets there is in the hands of Chuck Pulio right now. Double top, double top.
Tops.
And he does it.
Chuck Pulio doing the modern thing, taking double out.
And that keeps his average in the 90s, and he breaks Darren again.
The throw.
Unbelievable. Gets to lead off this fourth leg, leading 3-0. Chuck Pulio in cruise control right now. But as we've seen in the past few matches, anything can change in a heartbeat. And someone like Darren Young, you can't count him out even if Pulio is up 5-0 right now. So still a whole lot of darts left, and I'm sure we still have not seen the best out of Darren Young as of yet.
60.
But I was talking about this with Anthony last night. As a matter of fact, we said back in the day, if you hit double-double to win a match, you're showboating. Now it's becoming almost customary. It's not that abstract or strange to see.
It's the preferred shot. It's there's a cultural shift there. It is not showboating anymore. It is the preferred shot for a lot of the pro players we see in this room.
Because you're there. Why move if you're right there? Same thing with the ton 80. You know, you just keep following that same stroke, aim for the back of your dart, or find your mark on the the double. Why move? So the evolution of this game has been it's been fascinating to watch, even in the past. Oh, and beautiful ton 40 out of Chuck Pulio. But the evolution of this game over even the past 5 years alone. Michael Burns, as a matter of fact, loves the double-double. Now we're trying to get the first maximum of this leg and trying to get it out of Darren Young, but he comes away with an admirable ton 40. Chuck Pulio now, not with an out opportunity, sitting at 162. He's got the 80 though, and he drops it in for the triple 18. Tremendous darts, leaves him a double 14 to take a 4-0 lead. Darren Young needs a huge round right here, at least a ton 20.
66.
Comes away with 66. Visibly and understandably disappointed, but Chuck Pulio, 3 darts at least. Good marker. Another good marker. Split the uprights, Chuck. And he does.
Oh, perfect.
Right through. Field goal. Count it. Chuck Pulio up 4-0. I repeat, 4-0 over Darren Young here in our finals. He's keeping his average at 95 now. Darren Young leading off this 5th leg. And he does so with a gorgeous ton 40. Boy, did he need that. As a confidence booster and also to try to maybe get some momentum going. Try to steal some from Chuck.
Chuck coming off a 15-darter. Could have been a 13-darter. Right outside that 14 and a little bit of a bank shot to squeeze in. We see a lot of players failing to do so the past couple matches, but it was a great example of how to use that marker.
And that's why you see Chuck Pulio in the finals.
Exactly.
It's not about just averages. It's about getting your outs.
Well, I see a lot of players, they love to discredit averages right off the bat. And we had David Fadden come in, and he's a big, great example of, what you have to do with your mental game. But I love to use averages as a commentator and for the viewers to show patterns.
Sure. Absolutely. I mean, for us, it's everything. For players, they can completely ignore it, especially someone like Fadden.
Yes.
Beautiful ton 40 there by Big Daddy Darren Young. David Young.
They're all the same.
Yes, absolutely. But no, you're absolutely right. And someone like Fadden said, you know what? I'm not hitting massive numbers, but I'm hitting my doubles. And that's why Fadden got as far as he did until he ran into his student, Chuck Pulio, who we're seeing put on quite a clinic thus far against Darren Young. Darren with an opportunity that is a bit squandered unless he's able to pull this 45. One out. Gets a 45, so he will have a nice shot at a ton 33 out. Chuck Pulio trying to set himself up.
100.
Comes away with a ton. That's not going to be enough, so Darren Young will have 6 darts. Or I'm sorry, at least these 3, I should say.
Yeah, this is a little tougher leg for Chuck. He'll need to break, in order to break throw, 45. He'll need 2 big rounds here. A setup and an out, and that's it.
Yep, and Darren Young sitting at 88.
Not likely, right?
Yeah, and if you're Darren, it'll be interesting to see how he takes this out. Beautiful ton 40, though, by Chuck Pulio.
He does it, though. There's pressure right there.
Yes, Darren Young needs to knock this down. Not now, but right now. And he goes 20. He's got 68 remaining. 18, double bull to get his first leg of the finals. Oh, and it slides into the single bull. Huge opportunity for Chuck Pulio right now to put his foot on the throat of Big Daddy Darren Young. There's the single double top for the win. No, he's got to slide down to double 10.
Oh,
just
no.
Outside.
It will
Chuck
come
Pulio.
back to Darren Young. He will relish in this opportunity to not allow Chuck to break throw and come out on top with a final leg.
Trying to walk it in, double 12 to take his first leg, and he gets it.
He does, right in that corner. Darren Young gets into this match. trailing behind 1-4 to Chuck Pulio.
But now Pulio gets to lead off, and not a moment too soon, because had that been vice versa and Darren Young was going right back up there, the momentum would undoubtedly be in his favor. But Chuck instead puts that leg behind him, knocks down a gorgeous ton 40, as we've seen him do so many times.
That's right. My fault. That was to hold throw for Chuck, but still would have been an excellent position, needing only one more leg to win if he had won that last leg.
81.
Good start by Darren as well.
Comes away with an 81. Oddly enough, one of the stronger starts for Darren. We've seen a ton or two out of him, but a few errant darts as well. Chuck Pulio
59.
drops down. One of the lower rounds for Chuck, scoring a 59 there. Darren Young with an opportunity to try to garner some sort of a lead and maybe get some momentum. Darts are just sliding away from him.
36.
Dancing all around that triple 20 like it's trying to audition for Alvin Ailey. Now we got Chuck Pulio at the line. Third dart, and he's able to slide it in there for the ton. Darren Young now. First dart. I mean, I hate to say it, but it must be a little bit of a relief to see it fall into the 20 at least.
97.
Drops down to one of his all-time favorites, a trip 19, comes away with a nice 97. Chuck Pulio now trying to set himself up for an out. He's got 65, drops down 72. For 72 scored, 130 remaining. So maybe a 15-darter out of Chuck, we don't know. We'll find out after Darren Big Daddy goes up there. Another quintessential Big Daddy Darren Young shot right there. 137 leaves him 150, a chance at an out if Chuck doesn't hit this. And he's not going to get a chance. No. Oh, he might. Double bowl. Oh, just outside.
Both slipping into the single 20, going for that double bowl.
Darren, you require 150.
Wow, and we saw Darren do that before.
If Anthony was here, he'd be begging Darren to go all bulls. We saw...
he wants it so desperately.
Yes.
He desperately wants
Joe
to see
Cheney,
that dead eye.
I was trying to think of who it was. It was Joe Cheney that was doing that route.
Yes.
45.
And now we've got a 45 out of Darren Young. Chuck Pulio
getting into the zone here.
Did not even watch that round. He is so focused on his next round, and you could almost feel like he knew he was going to be back up.
I love that about Chuck.
Yeah.
This is his time. He's on stage for him.
I couldn't have said it better, and right there he takes the commanding 5-1 lead on Darren Young, and he gets the 5-1 lead, keeping his average at 90. Darren Young to lead off this 7th leg.
This is the Magic Darts Championship Dart Circuit Finals, best of 11. One more leg to secure the win for Chuck Pulio.
Absolutely tremendous performance so far by Chuck Pulio, but again, 5-1. This is where you find out a lot about yourself as a player. Do you let your foot off the gas a little bit, or do you just keep going at it like you 60. Are down 5-1? And that's, you know what? It sounds really easy. It looks great on paper, but it is not easy. That is another facet of the mental part of this game.
Absolutely agree. And lucky for Darren, he has more training on the mental game than pretty much anyone in this room, aside from Larry Butler.
Yes, absolutely true. And I couldn't have said it better myself. You put it so perfectly and eloquently about Chuck Pulio. And that This is his time. 40. This is his stage. And he is not going to squander the opportunity, even though he took 2 rounds to do what he's been doing through the entire match so far. It took him 2 rounds to get to 100. But Darren Young trying to stave off this 87. Onslaught by Chuck Pulio. He just hasn't been able to consistently hit big darts. And, you know, right now with the way Chuck has been shooting in this match, up until this point,
60.
You need the big scores.
Absolutely, especially considering the mentality that Chuck's coming from. He believes he belongs on this stage. This is his time, and he's been doing huge things this year. He has climbed these rankings, this order of merit for the CDC exceptionally well.
Well, we saw a big ton 40 out of Darren Young right there. We did a big answer out of Chuck Pulio.
And we're going to get it. A maximum. That's a 180 from Chuck Pulio to set up a 161, the first chance at the out.
And that was
incredible.
A quick round of anything you can do, I can do better. That was just tremendous. Because, I mean, at this point, you're up 5-1. You can roll over and say, yeah, whatever. But no, you said it. This is Chuck Pulio's time, and you can feel that. He's not going to be able to get the out, though. He's going to just try to hope to set himself up. And then Darren Young, Big Daddy, buck 10. Should be easy for a man of his caliber. He's at 90. Oh, single 18 right in the fat.
60.
62 scored. I'm not mistaken. No, I was wrong. I'm going to stop doing that. But Chuck Pulio now with an opportunity. Maybe a little bit of nerves creeping in.
It was a good pick, though, with the treble 20 to leave himself 50 as well, to at least knock that score down a little.
Darren.
Tops for Darren.
Big Daddy back down to the 10. Oh, errant dart. Chuck Pulio steps up to the Aki. Nothing on the line except for the CDC Championship Trophy for event number 8. There's the 10. Double top to win it. And he does. Ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Pulio has done it. He has taken down former champion Big Daddy Darren Young, and he has won event number 8 in the CDC Tour. Look at him, waving, smiling. Chuck Pulio, not only did I get your last name right, but it will be indelibly marked in my mind forever. Tremendous performance against one of the best shooters on this continent. Congratulations to Chuck Pulio. What do you make of this?
I think it's such a fantastic moment for Chuck. Like I said, this is going to push him well into the second seed for our order of merit. This is incredible, and that's including everyone, all American and Canadian players. Darren sitting at number 1, Chuck falling into number 2, considering Soldier did not make it this weekend, and now he's sitting in a wonderful chance. If he goes to Philadelphia, August 24th and 25th, by the way, for all of you watchers out there, he has the potential to slip ahead of Darren. Well, he has to hope that Darren doesn't do well. So it's something he can't really control, but he has the chance now.
Anything is possible. You never really know. But one thing we do know for sure, your CDC event number 8 champion is Chuck Pulio.
Okay, perfect. I'm getting up to the average.
Looks like we're going to go into interview in about 1 minute, so stay tuned, you all. I just want to mention, a huge thank you to all of the crew and Jeff Good for calling and chalking that match. He had a beautiful CDC shirt on. The tournament directors say it best, you guys. If you want to support the CDC, if you want to see it become successful, the best thing you can do for them is support their sponsors. So as you see on the screen here, this is the Magic Darts Incorporated Championship Darts Circuit. So Magic Darts, a lot of people don't realize their URL is a2zdarts.com. It is the same company. It's not... Their company is not actually called A to Z.
I made that mistake as well.
Yes, exactly. It is just the URL of their website. So they are the number 1 head sponsor. We came on this year. They send me to all these events to be intimately involved in the growth and success. And so we also have a new shirt apparel company, Magic Man Sports Apparel. If you purchase one of those jerseys, a percentage of the sales goes back into the CDC. So we want to see them succeed. We're here for a reason, and we believe they are the future. So please go to Dart Connect as well. This has been their weekend, their highlight. Grab a membership. We can't even explain to you, how much it's going to not only improve your game, but allow you to become a part of the community. You'll be able to watch all these matches and get your own ranking and follow along with your own progress. Follow the rest of the world. Compare yourselves to the guys and gals over the pond. And it's just been such a fantastic journey getting to see all these sponsors jump on board. Big thank you to USA Darts Production for being here and providing this stream with the CDC crew. Thanks so much to Kevin Malenfant. He travels all around and brings his own equipment. It's very difficult to put on this show, so we really hope that you can appreciate that, and we appreciate your viewership.
And, of course, the hard work of you, Jen Mounts, John Ronholm, of course, L. David Irete. And you know what? I'll tell you, this team that they've assembled and everything, absolutely tremendous. I mean, it's such a talented group of individuals, and they put in so much hard work. And, of course, to the players themselves, thank you for showing up and showing your support for the CDC, wearing the jersey, telling people about it, and putting it out there. And for you watching at home, we thank you for watching and sharing. So let's just a very quick recap of this weekend, what we have seen. First and foremost, the return of Larry Butler. No one knew he was coming back, not too long ago. He had a heart attack that, had he not been in the right place in the right time, most certainly would have killed him. And then just few weeks later, he's out of the hospital and he's here with us in Brooklyn. So the return of Larry Butler. Then we've got Nick Lindberg, who had made it to several finals, had lost to Darren Young, who just lost himself to Chuck Pulio. Nick Lindberg climbing over that hump and winning the championship trophy for CDC event number 7. Then we saw Gary Mawson get jumped over by in the Canadian.
By Jim Long, by
Jim
5 points.
By 5 points. Gary Mawson now with a real fire in his belly to come out in Philadelphia in a few short weeks, and he just wants to tear it up. Jim Long obviously wants to bounce back from a tough loss here after leading in the average all of today and for most of the weekend. So we saw that. We saw some incredible darts from some people that you otherwise would never have heard of, if not for the CDC, for the people watching at home. We got some new names in there. We got some new players that we hadn't seen before. And we had some local legends as well. We had a new CDC member, Sean Patrick, taking on New York City I guess we'll call him a sweetheart, Pat Gallagher, if you will. And of course, some of the best in Canada, some of the best in New York, Ohio, all across this country came out to play. And also in the juniors, we saw an unprecedented performance, not by Timmy Nickel, but by his 16-year-old son, Gavin, who absolutely tore it up all weekend. So congratulations to Gavin, who is now going to go over and play in the JDC across the pond. And what's left for the CDC? Philadelphia. Not just tour events number 9 and 10, but also we will find out who will be going to represent the United States and Canada in the Ali Pali come December. And then, of course, in October, we will have the championship coming out of LA. So what an unbelievable weekend we have had. What an unbelievable array of darts we've seen. We've seen a variety of skill levels and just a variety of personalities coming together and putting on quite the display, and it has been a real honor covering all of that. So, in just a moment, we are going to have the championship trophy presentation. The one that was taken last night by Nick Lindberg is now about to be owned by none other than Chuck Pulio, taking down the former champion Darren Young. And Anthony Eugenia jumping in the booth right now. What do you think of what you saw?
Honestly, I haven't seen a thing. Thank you, Colin. Thank you, Jen. I just came from from our youth tour. We finished that up, so I just walked the room and I hear you closing things up. I did hear a rumor Chuck Pulio took today's title, correct? All right, congratulations, Chuck. I just wanted to speak to the people and thank everybody for their support. I hope you enjoyed Jen and Colin, myself, and everybody we brought in. So I just wanted to personally say thanks to everybody on behalf of CDC. Thanks, Colin. Thanks, Jen.
Thank you, Anthony Eugenia.
Close us up, big man.
I will as soon as I hand it over to Mr. Peter Cetera, who is going to present the championship trophy to tour event number 8 winner, Chuck Pulio.
Peter Cetera here in Brooklyn, New York. We've just finished CDC event number 8 in the Dart Connect Digital Experience weekend on the Magic Darts 2018 Championship Dart Circuit. I'm going to bring up right now the runner-up today, a very familiar face for you all, Mr. Darren Young. Darren.
Hi, Peter.
Darren, how are you?
I'm all right. And you?
Well, it's been a good weekend overall. Tell us about your day. A little disappointing for you in the end, but another good run in the CDC for you.
Yeah, I started off playing pretty good today. I mean, I think I had 3 games in a row there where I was averaging 90 plus, and then got to the finals and it didn't happen for me. I'm getting tired, but I had have an issue with my wrist this week. And yesterday kind of didn't work out for me so much. But to make the finals today, you know what? Finals isn't a bad position, especially against a quality player like Chuck Pulio.
Yeah, you know, that's something that you have to keep in mind, that the competition in this room is just amazing. It's the best in North America, and running up against Chuck Pulio, and I'm going to interview him here in a little bit. And you know, Chuck's been hungry, and all kudos to him. Talk to me a little bit about the. You and I were kind of talking a little bit yesterday after you were eliminated. Talk to me a little bit about the injury. What happened? Do you know, or what's going on with you?
Well, I mean, if you look at my wrist, I mean, this one's kind of doesn't look like anything, but this is black and blue and a little swollen. And to be honest with you, I don't even know what I did. I think it was in the middle of my sleep. I think I flail around a little bit when I sleep. I may have whacked it off a nightstand or the bed or whatever I did. But today,
hopefully it wasn't your wife.
Yeah, well, she's on the other side, so I don't think I would have hit her with this one. But you know, all week I went up going into it. I'm like, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to play. So Thursday night I went out and tried to shoot a couple darts, and I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. But participated yesterday, not very well. Obviously lost out in the top 32. But today, you know, it hindered me a little bit, but I played well. You know, I switched darts because my signature darts that I play with, I only brought the one set, lost a little grip in those, switched to another set of darts, and I had 390+ averages, you know, to a set of darts that I'm looking to make a second-generation signature darts through Cosmo.
You heard it here first, folks. They're going to be coming out shortly. You'll be able to buy them at your favorite local retailers, including Magic Darts.
I got to be able to tweak them a little bit, but I will get them sorted out a little bit. Played well. Semifinals, played, I think, Garrett French or whatever. We had a good game there.
Gary was hot all day.
We made semifinals yesterday too as well. I mean, I know Garrett 20 years, and for him to do as well as he did this weekend, kudos to him.
Walking in like that in his first CDC event, yeah, it was great.
Sure.
Just one more thing. So going into Philadelphia, you're in a really good spot. Where on the points list. Talk to me about your prep work and what's going to be on your mind going into Philadelphia for our last weekend in a few weeks.
Well, I mean, I just have to play a little better. You know, I have to be able to finish these events off a little bit. I mean, what is this? 8 events now, and I've made 5 finals, 2 wins, 3 seconds. Having a good year.
I'd say.
But I have a little bit of a lead for the World Championship spots, but it's still wide open. I mean, Chuck winning today was a big win for him, and. Oh, I probably wish he would have won today, but you know, the better guy won today. Obviously, Chuck is a fantastic guy, and you know, and I'm happy for him, and I'm happy that it's going to come down to a race to that, because you know what, you meet a lot of nice guys playing darts, and you meet a lot of people that maybe aren't so nice at darts, but you can't be a nicer guy than Chuck Pulio playing darts. And I tell you what, he won fair and square, and kudos to him. And we'll have an event in Philadelphia to figure out what happens. But
it's going to be exciting, I'll tell you that. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Darren Young, as always, thank you. Great talking to you, and congratulations on a good showing today.
Thank you, Peter.
Cheers. We'll see you again soon. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our winner today, Mr. Chuck Pulio. Oh, yeah, you can grab the trophy. Usually we have somebody, you know, a trophy person. Today, you know, it's slim pickings around here. We've got a work slowdown here at CDC, and no, I'm kidding about that. Chuck, how you doing?
I'm doing really well. Doing well, thank you.
Doing well?
Yep.
I would hope so. You're holding one of these trophies.
Yeah, I'm holding it. Not too keen on the Brooklyn. I'm a Boston guy, so. But I said I was going to win this for my daughter, Gia. It's for you. So.
Talk to me about your day.
You know, after top 8 yesterday, I started off today a little slow. Then I got in a grinder with the Irishman, and he took me the length, and it kind of snapped me into form where I was playing really well. I hit Dave. We hit 5-5, and I had the darts, and I came out firing, and I got past that. Waiting for Jim Long, he throws a 97. So right off the bat, I mean, Jim's a great throw, so I knew I had to bring it. We played, and I produced my best darts of the day, 95 something. So I was feeling good coming in here, and I owe Darren. He beat me in Ohio in the finals. Right. So as darters, we want to get people back. So I told my wife before this, I said, I got to come out hard against Darren, put my foot down and just take it from them, and that's what I did today. You know. And
it was a great final. You know, you mentioned the match against Dave. He's talking about David Fathom. David, of course, being your mentor in a sense. So
yeah,
that's got to be a big
I like playing
big thing
Dave
for you
because I feel comfortable. Meaning you don't feel those jitters. You can just go out and throw great darts, and that's what we do. We just back and forth with each other. And I knew I had the darts, so in the back of my mind, I said, even if you go punch for punch, the last one, go for it, and that's what I did. So.
Even in a setting like this where you know what's on the line, it still feels like it's just kind of a not a practice match per se, but it still feels really relaxed between you two.
Yeah, yep. I mean, me and Dave play all the time, so he's guided me in the darts and outside of darts too. About playing and traveling, and I thank him for that.
So I want to talk just a little bit. I've had the opportunity to talk to you now for a couple of times this month. We've had some one-on-ones. You were in Las Vegas. I think it's safe to say that you were a little bit disappointed with your showing in Las Vegas.
Very disappointed. I felt Tuesday I was the best player in that room. I was high 90s the whole day. I didn't get it done against DJ. Top 8 the next one. And I just needed a good showing, and I just came out flat on Wednesday, and I paid for it. So,
and then you played the match play last week.
Yep, match play last week. Again, I made top 4, but again, I played DJ, and I didn't like the situation over there in that corner board where you guys were. I was kind of jammed up, so I didn't get in my usual, eye of the tiger mode. So I had to stand to the side, and it was kind of throwing me off. And as a dart player, we're creatures of habit.
Absolutely.
So I was on the side, and I just didn't feel comfortable. So then I just moved myself behind him, and I started throwing better, but by then it was too late.
Yeah, we're creatures of habit too, and we're used to having a control desk. But of course, you're at somebody else's event, and they're really kind enough to let us be there. And so, we have to do what we have to do. And it was great. It was still a great venue, and really we're happy to be there. Yep. So after those two kind of disappointing finishes, what went into your mind before you came in here today, or this weekend?
This weekend, I was in a race with Darren, and the guy's coming up chomping my behind. So I knew I had a good showing today, so I don't get too far behind. So I said, just win one, and that'll get you good points, and then the other one have a good showing. So I did in reverse, and top 8, and then I made the final. So like Darren said, it's great for the CDC. It's great for darts to, have a race. Everyone wants to see the last week mean something, and I think it will.
Oh, it will.
Exactly. So I'm glad I could provide that, and I'm glad I'm in it, and hopefully I can get some magic next week.
And there'll be one Mr. Leonard Gates that may or may not be there. We don't know because he's got a prior commitment, so we don't know what's going to happen, but he could make some noise. There's a lot of people that are in contention for that, and it's going to be great.
Absolutely.
So we hope that everybody at home watches us that event in a few weeks down in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Chuck, congratulations on a great showing today.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful to see you.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, from Brooklyn, New York, Peter Cetera saying goodnight on behalf of CDC, my partners Anthony Eugenia, David Irete, and Jeff Good, our entire staff, and the sponsors. We'd like to thank A to Z Darts. We'd like to thank Dart Connect for taking care of the weekend for us. As always, 180, the board sponsors, and all the people who take care of us. We could not do it without you. So please, ladies and gentlemen, if you get a chance, support our sponsors because they are supporting darts in the United States. We'll see you again in a few weeks from Philadelphia. It's going to be a big one. Take care, guys.
Thanks so much for sticking around, you all, for those interviews. Wonderful to hear from Darren Young and Chuck Pulio. Congrats again to Chuck. He's secured a win and the #2 seed slot once we update our order of merit. Thanks so much, Colin, for being here with us. It's been a pleasure, truly.
Absolutely my pleasure. And thank you, Jen, for opening up the booth, for allowing me in here. Thank you. Cannot stress this enough. Thank you to the Knights, the Baron DeKalb, Knights of Columbus here in Brooklyn and Sheepshead Bay for their unbelievable hospitality, letting a bunch of darters come in and take over their club. They've been nothing short of hospitable and amenable and just wonderful people, the entire staff here. And thank you to Thomas for all of his help with everything. Of course, a huge thank you once again to the entire production staff, DM Sweeney, Peter Cetera, Aaron Quinn,
Toby for coming on down. They're they were instrumental for the youth, the junior and evolution tour. So thanks so much to all of the crew.
And to Kevin Malenfant and to Bones, Ron Holm, L. David Ireet, Peter Cetera, Jeff Good, and the entire crew. And of course, give a huge thank you to Jen Mounts, who's been running back and forth between events, in and out of the booth. She has been all over the place. So I don't know if you've got a Fitbit, but if you do, your steps are going to be through the roof after this weekend.
I think I can skip the gym.
Yeah, no, I think you're doing just fine. But.
And I know you all missed Anthony Eugenia, but he had to do his best hand in helping out with the youth tour. So we all care a great deal about making sure that the youth players have just as a professional setup as the adults.
Yes, and you know what? I think you did a tremendous job. I love Anthony to pieces, but I think you were just fine.
Thank you.
But again, thank you to all of you who tuned in and who are going to share, and to those of you who are watching this after the fact, maybe you're out on vacation or you're traveling somewhere, whatever, and you check this out, we thank you for doing so. And of course, all the players that showed up, all the players that watched, all the players that support, and all the wives and families that allow the players to go out and be a part of this, or that come and support in person. We appreciate you as well. And so with that, on behalf of the entire CDC crew, on behalf of all of the players, and on behalf of the great city of New York, my name is Colin Cosell. That was Jennifer Mounts, Miss Jen Mounts, if you will. It has been an honor and a privilege. We will see you in Philadelphia in a few weeks' time, and then I will see you back in Los Angeles for the Continental Cup. In the meantime, keep on shooting, keep on sharing, and make sure you, if you've got a league or anything, tell them about Dart Connect. Get involved with that. Get involved with the CDC. Get your jerseys. Just get involved and keep on shooting, people. That's it. We're going to call this a wrap. Thank you guys so much. It has been awesome. Congratulations to Nick Lindberg, our Event 7 winner. And, of course, Chuck Pulio, you saw just a few minutes ago. Chuck Pulio, your Event 8 winner. 9 and 10 in Philadelphia in a few weeks to come. In the meantime, enjoy, relax, and enjoy your summer, guys. Thank you so much. Take care.
He knows a guy from Nantucket. Yeah. I don't know. Something funny. Well, we're talking life stuff here, but Johnny, you like you a little bit.